Hey, what's up? Hey, Malibu. So I just started watching you looking at you. Thank you, Ari. Yeah, I never seen you in a live before. So if you have like a question or you want like a card pulled or anything like that, let me know. Oh shit. It's Sin. What's good, Sin? Sin, how has life been treating you? You popped in a little bit ago. You said something about your life is doing great, and you moved the fuck out and moved the fuck on, which is the best part about that. I'm stressed, but it's great. That's kind of the answer I was expecting. Shit's new. Shit's different. Got the hell out of Dodge. Yeah, I feel that. Hey, Shaylee. Hi, Miss Sharita. He said, I'm about to be there, scared for no reason. Cap set over here. I feel that. Is there a free one? There is a free one. For new folks. If you knew, then you get one free. This job is a hot mess express. But you're trying new things out, right? You're doing something different. It's raw, it's real, it's hard to find a schedule and something that is brand fucking new to you. I bet you would feel like it's smacking the face. You're like, what the fuck is this? Where am I right now? Where the fuck am I right now? But you making it look easy, I'm sure. That's the Virgo traits. You making the stress look easy. You imploding internally. Hello, I'm new. So for the new folks, make sure you read the description. I do, give you a card pull if you're going to be patient with me. Now, if you going to try to rush me and be like spamming questions up in the chat and shit, then I'm going to have to remove your ass. That's just how it is. If you're not patient with me, I am definitely not going to be patient with you. It's mutual respect in this bitch. So when I'm reading for somebody else, I need you to respect that I'm reading for someone else that's not you. Now, if you hear something and you're like, oh, that really sounds like my shit, I don't mind y'all agreeing and chatting beyond that. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to ask me something, just know that if I'm in the middle of a read, you're going to piss me the fuck off. And I'm just going to remove your ass. He said I was so mean to my boyfriend last night because I was must be Virgos were just all mad yesterday. Must be all Virgos were a little bit saucy yesterday. He compared me to Sin. Oh. Sin what? He compared you to Sid the Sloth. Is that how y'all play back and forth though? Like, were you in a bad mood so you couldn't play back and forth in that moment? Like, or do y'all usually like call each other names like that? Where it's like, you look like Sid the Slav. No, nigga, you look like that nigga, little green nigga from Monsters Inc. Do y'all usually go back and forth like that? I'm always mean, so I can't tell if it's... Well, it's like there's a playful me, and then there's a very annoyed, irritated, and stressed out me. And sometimes I think that people can get on your nerves when unintentionally, you know, especially us guys. Like, sometimes we don't feel that vibe. Like, for the most part, I want to say with my partner, I feel the vibe when she's in a certain place. But if she's not going to have a conversation with me about it first and just be like, yo, I need softness. I don't need the abrasive comedic bullshit or the sarcasm or the dry humor. I don't need that right now. Then I'm all definitely, you know, not fully understand. He was saying I'm cute and innocent like Sid. But we do play around, but I was telling him I'm tired and compared me to a slob. Like, what the fuck? Alright. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing that he's like saying you're cute and innocent, because I think that, like I said, I just think you were in a bad mood, and so it easily got taken in a certain direction. Stupid guy moment for him. I told him I don't like him right now. I just feel like at the end of the day, if he's sitting there and saying you're cute and innocent, and kind of like, even if you're saying like sort of passive aggressive things towards him right now, where you being like, I don't like you right now, like if he's sitting there and taking it chill and calm and not like blowing shit out of proportion, that is the correct way of dealing with it. You know, as long as he's willing to just kind of sit there and play along with what mood is going on with you. You know what I mean? It's kind of chilling. Big he said I'm gullible too, but also weird as fuck. I feel like I go lewd. You had the surgery. Okay. So, yeah, how was it? He was good and chilling. Okay, that's that's how where you need to be. Because if it blew up into something where he's like, oh, why you being such a bitch or something like that, that's inappropriate and that's disrespectful. I would say that's disrespectful. But right now, if you in a bad mood and you stressing, the sloth commentary, I feel like that was light. That was light play. He said, don't call me a fucking slug. How dare you? Virgoisms. I deal with the same with my partner, my Virgo. Sassy and saucy. When she's in a bad mood, everyone is the enemy. So you gotta treat her light and soft and sweet as hell. Like she a little teddy bear. But you don't say she's a teddy bear, because then she gonna take that somewhere. Like, who the fuck you call it a teddy bear? Earth signs are funny as fuck. I hope y'all know that. Earth signs are so goofy with this shit. I can't with y'all. And me too. I can't with myself sometimes. He said, it's going great. I can see the results. The only thing is my feet have been swelling a lot. Is that normal with like the fluid that's coming off of your surgery type thing? You know, because I've talked to women who have had that done, and a lot of the time I think the swelling, like up and down the whole entire leg, is normal. Up and down the whole entire legs, and sometimes like other places in the body where like your fingers even and stuff like that from the medication. Don't call me no teddy bear. Well, it's like a sweet thing, right? But if you're in a bad mood, you're not gonna take it sweet. You didn't just call me a bear. Like, why the fuck would you call me that? Like, get away from me. But low key, when you're saying get away from me, you mean invade my privacy and get my space more. That's what you're trying to say. You're like, just invade my privacy more. Don't leave me alone. Because if you leave me alone, I'm going to be even more mad at you, and I'm not going to say nothing to you. I'm going to go mute. Set if I've already given you a free reading, either you have to now proceed with a paid reading, or you kind of just sit and listen, see if you hear anything that applies to you. But after y'all get your little free check-in, unless you're a member, members get one free check-in a month. Or a week, my bad. One free. Members only. You say it's a woman thing in general. I've dealt with women who like hop on me, like get in my face type shit. They don't go mute. So for me, the mute thing is new. For the earth sign mute thing for me is new. I've never ever really had that type of connection where I've been like, you know, talking to somebody and they get angry and then they just go mute. I've never had that happen. I've always been with the people that like snip back at you. The females that like literally want to like cut you open type shit. I never dealt with the whole sitting there looking at you like with a glint eye, like, you dumb motherfucker. Can't stand you. Never dealt with it. To me, it's like actually 10 million times better than someone who's constantly defensive. You know what I mean? Like, I actually like that vibe. I like that vibe a lot more. You said my aunt, who's a herbalist, said they're swelling my face too. Yeah, I've heard that. But that's the thing. I've seen that. You know, I've seen the swelling. It's like a reaction to all of the different new shit they pumped in your body and all the chemicals and shit like that, and the medication. The medication is the one thing I think swells the most, especially pain meds. Like, you seeing the people off pain meds, it makes them sometimes a little stupid. You see, I'm also on my period too. I forgot about that. She said she think her period coming today. My Virgo said, I think my period's coming. I was like, I know. Because the attitude is starting. Just get her some food and shut her the hell up. Ah, man. Everybody that wants like a new reading, or not a new reading, a free reading, right? You a new sub, you want a reading. If I've never read for you before, that's what I'm talking about, right? Come in clutch with your question, okay? Come in clutch with your specific question. Do it. Be sweet, yeah. I learned the sweetness. Be forgiving and be sweet and be kind. The best you can. Do the best you can at that shit. So sometimes it's irritating, but if you can ignore your own irritation, I most definitely have the patience for that. I don't mind doing a little spoiling. That's my whole thing, too. That's my whole thing. I like being sweet, but like when someone puts me in the position where they want me to be an asshole, I'm like, I'm not gonna do what you say. So I just don't give a fuck about that. Oh, here we go. See, so that, like, that's not what I'm talking about. When I say like be patient, right? Can y'all time out Sadaf? Just time them out. Don't block them. When you're coming in here for a question, don't spam the chat up. I will choose on whether I want to do your question, right? I will choose, right? That's kind of the thing, y'all. You gotta be patient. And if you're not patient, then you won't get your ass booted. And also, like, if you came from Twitter, you also should have already gotten like a reading from me. Time them out. Moderators. Turn it up. Yeah, it is really an earth side thing, that mute shit. But like, I don't. What I've seen, like, when you have two earth signs in a relationship, I think it's more understood. I think that that whole mute thing is more understood because when you realize when it's like an earth and a fire or earth and a water, like the fire or water sign will bug the fuck out of you to try to get you to talk, and you're like, I don't want to talk, I don't know what the fuck to say, so I don't want to talk to you right now. It's like, let me think on my emotions and feel out my emotions while you sit over there rambling your head off. Like, you gonna make me jump the fuck on you. Like, so I've seen a lot of different relationships with earth signs actually mutually understanding and agreeing that, okay, we both need space right now, or if not space, then we both just need to be catering to each other. I've seen that a lot more than I've seen the screaming back and forth in the face type shit. And then there's times where, of course, earth signs will completely abandon each other, which is that's not fair. Okay, that needs to be docked. I don't think that's fair, but definitely not fair. The abandonment issues are real with earth signs. I don't know why this chat is so fucking slow. Like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? Come on now. Let's put you on timeout for 30 minutes. Come back around when you let off some steam. Nikki, what's Cody's intention for me, toward me? Sorry if I haven't seen some of y'all shit, because for some reason YouTube be having this slow ass chat. You said I never dated a Capricorn, but that's completely opposite with me and a Taurus man. I have yet to be with a Taurus man that I didn't want to kill. Maybe it's a thing of like, Miss Sharita, you have a little bit more of a, like, even though you soft spoken, I feel very much that your energy can easily become irritable, and like you might be more snippy and snappy than the quiet Virgo woman. There's a louder Virgo woman, there's a quiet one. That's what I want to say. And if you the quiet one, you gonna be sneaky with your hatred. You gonna be petty with your hatred. If you're the louder one, you don't really like the petty behavior, and in fact, that's something that will trigger you over the edge and make you feel like, I'm not saying a quiet Virgo woman can't like snip and snap on somebody like loud as fuck, but at the end of the day, they want to keep themselves calm. It's all about self-control, okay? And they don't want to be caught looking any freaky type of way. They just want to maintain their sanity, right? And then there's the other one that really seriously doesn't give a fuck. Okay, and that, I feel like when you closer to Leo, and that's what I do with my Virgo, she is literally on the fucking crisis edge of Leo. Like, she's literally on the last day of well, not last day, it's the day after Leo season ends. She's the first day of Virgo season. And sometimes when there's times where she can be very, very calm and, like I said, very quiet. But I see when her face starts getting red and she starts thinking like, I'm going to fuck you up. I see that shit. And then when she starts going off and shooting her mouth off, she'll go for like hours. And I'm sitting there like, I'm like, I want to sleep. I'm so sorry. I want to sleep. Yeah, so you true Virgo. True Virgo is mid. It's early September. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, please, girl. Please. Like, I can't listen no more. I'm so tired. Most Taurus men I've known are cheaters. I don't know about the whole cheating thing with Taurus. I think that obviously Taurus bases a lot of their experiences off of what they experienced when they were young. So stability for them has to be to a T. Like, they have to experience at least one parent being able to exhibit stability. Otherwise, you end up with, and I feel like that's with everybody though, right? But I feel like it's emphasized with Taurus, because Taurus is like represents the Hierophant in the tarot deck, which is like they're all about stability. They're all about, like, they need that shit in their life. Like, it's a necessity. And if you have none starting out in this world, they don't even know where the fuck they're going or what the fuck they're doing. Taurus seeks out constantly a teacher, right? That's also a thing. It's like they constantly seek out not a parent, but a teacher, someone they can learn from. So naturally, you know, if they don't feel like they're on equal footing, and especially if they're insecure, I think a lot of it is you get into those types of games, the cheating games, the back and forth. The squabble is what I'll call it. It's like a squabble where it's like now it's getting to some childish shit because Taurus is like I can't stand the fact that you're not stable. But it's like, Taurus, look at yourself. Look at yourself, nigga. Look at yourself. You definitely not fucking stable. Like, look at yourself. Like, please don't come to the table with that shit, because you know you're not stable either, and that's why you keep choosing the unstable motherfuckers. You're trying to choose someone who's equal to you, and it's like, well, you know, you need to fix that self-esteem and fix your life up. Stop cheating on people. Stop getting with people you know are temporary solutions. God damn. I'm a Taurus moon and ascendant, so most of all, I definitely know what it is. I will tell you that. I know what it is. I know when and why. If I ever have gotten those thoughts in a relationship in the past, I know why I got those thoughts. And it's most definitely not for a petty reason. It's because I didn't feel safe and I didn't feel comfortable in a relationship. And when they don't feel safe, when a Taurus don't feel safe and comfortable and feel like they can rely on a person, they will go out and become the individual. They will be single in a relationship. And that most of the cheating shit goes for the man. Emotional cheating goes for the women. So I feel that like all of the earth signs base a lot of their shit on stability, right? Taurus being the one sign out of the zodiac that most represents that parental figure, that parental guidance. And when you don't have a parental figure or parental guidance to show you how to be a woman and how to be a man, how to be right in the head, how to have a moral compass, I think that's kind of where that stems in. If you watch your father growing up cheating on your mother 24/7, or watch your mother growing up cheating on your father 24/7, you're watching those behaviors, the woman and the man, and you're going to exhibit those later on. And that goes for everyone, but Taurus, like I said, most of all, it's highlighted for them. To watch it is highlighted. Like that to them is what that dynamic is going to be like repetitively in relationships until they choose to be something other than what they've grown with. Like I said, the women sometimes can be emotional cheaters if they don't feel secure with the man that they're with or the woman that they're with. The men are more than likely going to feel more inclined to do sexual things. It's not a thing of like, oh, I'm going to throw it in your face this way, that way. It's like, I don't feel safe with you. I don't feel wanted by you. And that's a self-insecurity. That's not a you problem. So like whoever's dealing with a Taurus, that's not you. That's not a you issue. That is an us problem. That's like where we have to calm ourselves down and be able to manage and deal with our own emotions and stop projecting that instability outwards, right? Not everyone can be perfect and on the same footing or in the same mind space and in the same place as us. And so when we start to feel that like detachment, where we, like I said, we feel unsafe and like our stability is going to be broken, even if it's a really, really small amount of stability. Could be a good job, you know what I mean? Could be the fact that you have your child in your life. You know, there's a little small, well, having a child in your life is really important. Let's face that. But I'm saying like, it couldn't be the smallest amount of stability and they could like emotionally be all over the fucking place. But they view that one little pinnacle of stability as the best thing that's ever happened to them. So if anyone's trying to wreck that or ruin that, and that could even be the relationship with their parents, their toxic ass family, their toxic ass mom and dad or sister or brother, whatever. If anyone tries to weasel their way in and ruin that shit, they will cut you off. They will emotionally detach from you. It could even be their baby mama, or their baby daddy. You know, they can't cut that person off because that's the one person they ever felt stable with. It's like, it's toxic behaviors. Regardless of how you cut it. But when you are dealing with Taurus, you are dealing with somebody who needs stability. They need it emotionally and physically. They need it. It's not something that they're not gonna on purpose choose someone who's unstable. They just will not do that. If they feel like there's a connection there, it can be very strong in the beginning, but just as quickly fizzle out when they start feeling like you're unstable. And I'm sorry, but they're just not attracted to unstable individuals. They themselves could be unstable, and they still won't be attracted to unstable individuals. Okay? I'm saying. Taurus is rough. I know that because I know myself very well. And I know my past and my relationships that I've been through. The one thing that irks me and bothers me about every single person that I have been with is that not only, well, the Capricorn kind of highlights like, okay, you're a human being and you have human faults. And so I accept that about you. But if you're not going to choose to put your life on track, I will put your life on track for you. And if you refuse to still refuse after that point with my controlling ass, then then you out for the fucking streets. Like, you could go run out to the fucking streets. Because I am not going to deal with you. I'm going to shit can your ass fast as fuck. You going to be out my life just as quick as you was in. Like, that's how I feel it with a Capricorn and then the Taurus and the Taurus. That shit has stacked me up for a perfectionist. It has stacked me up to be that tightwad. I never had that growing up. I did not experience that with my family growing up. I had a very, very, very hyper abusive, hyper neglectful, abandonment, everything else that you could possibly think of. So I created my stability for myself. So when I get in a situation where I feel like my person is getting unstable, I instantly want to work that shit out, like on the dime. And if, like I said, if that I'm trying and the other person isn't, and I feel that shit, I instantly feel emotional withdrawal, where I'm like, oh, I love you. I'm like, oh shit, wait, what? You saying you love me? I don't know if I love you. You know, I don't know if I love the idea of you or I really love you. Like, I just don't know, because you just showed me that you're not capable of the type of stability that I'm looking for. But you said you would be, but you're not. So, you know what I mean? It's like that. You said you were this and this and this and that, but you technically lie if you can't work on it in the time that I allotted for you. You know, it's very, very controlling. It's very controlling. I'm not going to not admit that, because that is controlling. Truth be told, it is very controlling. It's a layer of plot armor with its earth signs. It's a layer of plot armor. The moment we start feeling someone pulling away, or someone, like I said, not stable enough, this way, that way, each earth sign has their own picky things that they look at and they're like, I can't deal with you. Each one of us does. But like I said, definitely with me, once I start feeling that shit, like, I'm like, am I loving the idea of you, or am I really loving you? Because I don't know if I really I love the idea of commitment and marriage and, you know, us having kids and doing this and doing that. I love that, right? But I don't know if I see that with you. Like, damn. And I go back and forth with this shit. I'm like, shit. And it feels diabolical, because you feel bad and guilty for not feeling the same, or not feel like it's not that we don't feel the same, it's that we look at emotions differently. We feel guilty for that. We feel guilty for being the more like logical lover. We feel guilty for that. But it's a part of the fucking game. That's just how we love. If you can't accept our love language, then, you know, you might as well not be with one of us, right? That just don't be. Just don't do that. Bro, Taurus, I know, is sweet as pie, but likes playing games with me, because you a game, like you just said, highlight the word game, right? If they know they can get something from you when they're feeling unstable. Like sex might even be the one thing that they feel like is stable for them, by the way. Sex or flirtation or like, serial dater mentality. That might be the only thing that's ever gone for them in their whole entire life. So, of course, he falls out of your orbit. Because the only thing he's going to keep doing is playing. He's a professional player, right? Professional liars, professional players, you know the deal. Like I said, anything that makes them feel more stable in life, they will latch onto that shit. And that might be the one thing. That might be the one thing. I have a hard time falling for someone, but I quickly get the ick about them when I start to like them. I feel that. That's a whole trauma response. That's a whole trauma response. You start feeling like it's not even about that person anymore. You might be like picking on that person, but really you're picking on yourself. Because you're like, am I really good enough for someone to love me like this? Or to like want to get to know me like this? Am I really good enough for that? Like, I don't know. This person is doing, when we say this person doing too much. Technically what we're also saying is like, I don't know if I deserve this type of treatment. I don't know if that's for me. You know what I mean? I don't know if I deserve that. I guess it is. It's a Virgo woman thing, by the way. Virgo men don't have the same attitude about it. It's a Virgo woman thing. It most definitely is. As I do readings for Virgos, like specifically, I definitely feel like the majority of the Virgos that kind of wriggle onto the channel are women. But like the couple of different masculine energy that comes in is so different. It is so different. Y'all value the same things, most definitely, but the emotional valuing and the like emotional things are not the same. They just not. I need stronger boundaries, he said. Yeah, that's what it would be. You're exactly right. If you still struggling with that, like accepting that Taurus as they, like you want to accept them as they are, right? But as they are as a player, and obviously that to you is a trigger. So instead of accepting them as they are, you might want to start distancing them, because they're never going to be what you want them to be. I love being alone. When I get the ick, I want to quit being in relationships, so I don't even take it seriously when y'all talk shit about my son's sign. I don't even, girl, I'm not even talking shit. She said talking shit. They're not talking shit about you, Miss Malibu. They not talking shit about you. I'm not talking shit because, I got that double Taurus up in there. I might as well just be a fucking bow. I might as well. I know Capricorn at the sun, but like I said, I might as well just be a fucking bow. My personality pisses people off, and I love that. I love that. I roll in that shit. So exactly what you just said, Malibu, I also contend with. I thought about doing maybe some Twitter posts while I was on here, kind of talking about like the signs and shit. You said I want Scorpio moons one day because Scorpios are crazy. Scorpios are different. Not a bad different at all. I love me some Squirt. Scorpio and Pisces are just so much different than the rest of the zodiac. You said I got people hating because I'm getting recognized for making TikTok to a work. Wait, so are you saying people are seeing you do TikToks, or you already got that base on TikTok and people be recognizing you like, oh, yo, that girl from TikTok type shit? I love that it pisses people off. People think they're TikTok famous. It's like, why are you so bitter about TikTok? It is what it is. It's about to disappear anyways. Get off people's dick, man. Get off people's jock. It don't fucking matter. You think Taurus moons are worse than the Taurus sun? Oh, thank you. That's me. He said, I still have all the old people that I need to update something because I feel like it wasn't in the right one. Maybe you not in the right group. Maybe you're not in the right group. Let me post the group thing again. You'll have to rejoin because this is a new one. And you're probably seeing a new thing or the old thing because you are still in that group chat. And you know, I think I deleted it. I think I did. I think I did. You might have to leave the group, that would be in your settings, and you're able to go along the side of the of Discord, and you'll see all these different little pictures. Those are different groups or communities that you're in. Ari said, "Love me some bad ones. I can accept people, but I don't get the same acceptance. Caps get a bad rap too. We care hella. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. There's a lot of us that care and a lot of us that struggle with caring fully, because if you fully commit, then that is like an ultimate, like that's 50-50, that where you feel like something's gonna fail or something's gonna happen. It's like we can't accept the fact that there's gonna be failure behind somebody being with somebody. That's a lot of it too. It's like you can't accept the fact that there might be a failure at the end of the fucking road. We want to be able to control that shit to the T, and we just can't do that. Like you're not when you're with somebody, you're not supposed to do that. Let's put it that way. You gotta just be able to manage those feelings of control. Like you gotta be able to just be like, okay, fuck it. They may not be perfect. They might not be 100%. But they're in a good mental space, mind space, and they're trying to work on themselves. And I love that. You know what I mean? I love that they're trying to work on themselves. And it's not just about them working on their finances or anything like that. Most of it is mental, right? You just got to be aware of how much like mental growth someone is willing to do to be alongside of you. And if they're willing to change behaviors, right, and they're willing to listen, be open to listening to you and emotionally connecting with you, then you have someone that you should definitely keep investing in. If it started out from the beginning as an abusive scenario or situation or a neglectful situation where someone was abandoning you or calling you names or calling you out and trying to make you feel some type of way about yourself, then that's not something you invest in right out the gate, right? Right out the gate, they already showed you who they was and you trust who they were. Especially when someone comes in and talk about their exes, like that shit is a bother. That is a trigger, y'all. That is a trigger. That is a red flag. When someone starts coming in and instantly goes on about the fucking exes. And if you're one of those people, then you need to stop with that shit too. Because if you try to get into a new relationship, you don't want to be bringing up the old shit. I know that's a trauma trigger for you, but you deal with that on your own time. You do not bring that up to somebody who you trying to, talk to and feel up on. You know, that's not sexy. That's not healed energy. That's you still dreaming and thinking about that individual and how bad they did you, when the reality is you're not ready for a relationship then, right? You need to grow past it. The moment that you start like focusing in on yourself after a breakup or after you've left somebody alone and figure themselves out, like you definitely need time to recalibrate and figure out your confidence again. It's not all about figuring out what went wrong, because sometimes like it's two wrongs don't make it right. So both of y'all were wrong in the relationship and you obviously can't fix or mend that. Even in your mind, you can't justify what you did or what this person did, and you just can't. You know what I mean? You just can't. So sometimes you gotta like back out and be like, well, this person brought this out of me because of the trauma I experienced whenever, because of who I had growing up, or because of what little I had. You know what I mean? As far as structure goes, you have to realize where that comes from, and you have to directly work on those issues before you get into another relationship and start talking about, well, this man treated me this way and this woman treated me that way and this person did this and this and this and that to me. It's like, okay, you're a professional victim. What did you do to try to like rectify your emotions on the situation? Did you stick with them, stay with them? Did you sit there and argue with them? Did you like cuss them out and block them and move on to the next one? It's like, how did you respond to that situation? Are you still responding out of a place of a child or somebody who's, you know, been neglected and abused? Are you still responding out of a position of unhealed trauma? Are you willing to compromise? Right? Are you willing to work on those parts of yourself and those issues? Even while you're in a relationship, you don't have to wait 5 years, 6 years to sort that all out. Some of us want to, right? But you don't have to. You can go into a relationship and continue to heal alongside of another person who wants to heal as well. You can continue to do that. But the moment that y'all start triggering each other and stepping on minds, you have to be willing to compromise. You have to be willing to stop whatever you're doing to trigger that other person. You have to be willing to compromise some of your freedom, right? Some people say like freedom and all that. People like their freedom in a relationship. I like to go out and party and drink still. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's triggering your partner, maybe you can manage it in a means of like, okay, go out and party on Friday night and then come home, you know, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, a little curfew situation, and be with your man, be with your woman, be with your person. You know, make compromise. You have to when you're with somebody else. They're not you, right? So y'all not going to want the same things in the same type of space, and they're not going to understand what's going on in your mind sometimes within. This compromise is super important when you're in a relationship. Did you get my cash out? Let me look, girl. Let me look. Let's see. Malibu, hopefully you figured everything out. I did. I got you on that carpool. He said, how are Gemini recently? Very, very, I don't want to say melodramatic is the vibe, because I think that's kind of a rude or disrespectful way of putting it. I want to say that they kind of just in an emotional place right now. It's like you can't with Geminis, you can't expect them to always completely or fully understand where you're coming from. If you're offering them some sort of a what do they call that? They call that a fuck. If you're offering them like either you do this or I'm leaving type situation, or if you're sitting there and you're kind of like you're very stubborn on certain things, expect Gemini to feel very emotional about that and feel very, very like lost, like who is this person type vibe. Because at the end of the day, Gemini does not deal with their emotions very well alone. They just don't. They don't. You're which sign? I'm Capricorn, Taurus, babe. But yeah, no, you just can't. I'm in Western astrology. I'm Gemini ascendant in Taurus moon. Yes, ultimatum. Thank you. Ultimatum. When you're offering somebody an ultimatum, or you're putting them on the stand and expecting them to choose right within that moment, like either you choose me or you leave this person, or you do this, or you do that. Like when you're trying to do shit like that to a Gemini, it's just not gonna fly, baby. It's not gonna fly. Okay, Gemini always wants the best of both worlds. They want to believe that there's a world where they can exist and have peace, have laughter, but also have like a serious job and like a serious commitment to money and to love and to family. They want to believe that there's a job, there's a person out there where they can have fun and then also be serious with. That's just the way that they are. And if you don't take them seriously, or you're always taking them seriously, if you can't play both parts of like, okay, let's go out and have fun, let's go out and do this, let's go out and do that, and then at the end of the night, maybe y'all talking about over wine with some dinner, and you talking about bills. You know what I mean? You need to keep up. If you can't match Gemini's energy, don't be with a Gemini. Don't do that. Because they gonna make you real fucking tired. They gonna exhaust the fuck out of you. They will. Because they're not built for everybody. They just aren't. Gemini is a very natural multitasker. Like, they are very natural at having like so much going on in their life that you will be left behind if you don't keep up with them. You might be doing majority of the driving in y'all's relationship or in y'all's communication with just the back and forth shit. They will find interest in you if you're willing to be, you know, not complex, but if you're willing to just spark up something, you know what I mean? Spark up a little communication. They will be interested. They like intelligent shit. They like people who are able to like understand intelligent, like beyond the emotional connections. Understand a life in general. Understand the human condition. Understand the morals. Understand that multiple, like being able to wear multiple hats and putting on, like, you know what would be good for a Gemini? Entrepreneur. And if you're a Gemini and you're an entrepreneur, find another entrepreneur. Even if y'all don't get much time together in the physical, Gemini loves that shit. They love the warm up the oven type shit. They love the warm up. They love that shit. They love somebody who loves work, because they love work too. But at the end of the night, you coming home to them. And you better have enough energy at the end of the night too, because if you can't keep up, then you can't keep up. Like I said, don't try. If you're not naturally like that, don't try. You will tire yourself out. You will put yourself so tired and so exhausted. Like, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, she magic. Let me give you a card pull real quick, and then I'll check you out, Ari. Good luck on your first day of work, Isabella. Good luck. Hopefully it's fun. Hopefully nobody gives you a hard time. Let me see about she's magic. She's magic. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. I mean, they talk about like loss of self-value. Warrior scepters in reverse. They talk about your loss of like self-value because someone ripped that away from you or pulled that out of you. They pulled out whatever you were gripping onto, whatever you were trying to like hold on to about yourself. They ripped that from you. Purposefully. Purposefully. They ripped it from you. They tore it from your hands. They, you know, made you feel like you being comfortable, or you being yourself, and you being loving and affectionate and wanting like that strong connection with somebody. That was a bad thing. You know, that was a fucked up thing. Like, bitch, no, you trusted me way too quick. You were stupid enough to fall for it. Like, she's magic. That's what I'm picking up on. It's like, you were stupid enough to pick up or to do that. You were stupid enough to fall for me. Like, somebody's almost accusing you of being like, you know, well, you're a narcissist, or you care too much about yourself because you went into this relationship not really knowing who I was. They're putting the blame on you. You know, they put the blame on you. So what work I feel like you need to do now is like, you need to be willing to shut down those criticisms and remain like strong and go back to being you, because you were so loving, so caring. So now I feel like a sense of coldness about you, where you cold and you quick with a cutoff, and you're not wanting to sit there and communicate with other people. You're shutting them down. There was a version of you that was like so loving and vast, and also I feel like there's something to do with like you being able to travel and like go vacationing, and you being able to like speak to people you never met before, and like them being like, you're such a good person. Like, maybe someone doesn't let you do that no more. Like, somebody's completely like ripped that away from you. That style of travel or communication. Like, you want someone you can do that with. That's what you want. You want someone who's willing to compromise like that. And you need to know that, like, the person who told you to turn all that off, turn off your lovingness, turn off your kindness, turn off your affection, because I hate that shit. I hate that part of you. That person was projecting outwards. That person is not and was not for you. And I stand on that. Like, I stand 10 toes on that. They are not for you. They are not about you. They are not for you. Don't sit there in a situation where you know someone's trying to take away your freedom. Because even if a lot of the time we compromise when we're in relationships. We have to, like I just said earlier, we have to do that, right? But what you don't have to do is give up on yourself. You should never hand yourself away to the fucking devil type shit. You should never hand yourself away to somebody that's like that. You not too friendly. Like that insecurity shit is boring. You are not too friendly. You need to be with somebody who loves that about you and loves that you're loving to others as well. You need to be with somebody who naturally accepts that. I feel like I'm all like speak on this, and this might be a too soon scenario where you're just getting out of a relationship, or like somebody who's basically like you're still with them or back and forth with them still. Like I know that situation can be really hard to break away from because they made you so codependent on them. They made it so like you couldn't live or breathe without their affection and attention, because they tried to separate you from the outside world and separate you from other people that you loved and were friendly with. Separate you from even going out in the fucking first place, right? Or traveling, right? That's what you love to do. Why was that taken away from you? Right? Because that person was not for you. They went for you because they also saw a lot of traits in you that they envied. They envied that about you. They envy your shine. They envy your friendliness. And that's why they also criticize that part of you and be like, yeah, you too much, girl. Like you be going out and flirting with everyone. It's like, bitch, all I'm doing is talking. I'm having a conversation. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm having a conversation with somebody. You can't even stand me looking in someone's general I can't even fart in this person's general direction without you jumping on my neck. Like, bitch, no. That's not how this rolls. You can't control me and who I am. Fuck you. Like, that's how you should have been. But, of course, like I said, love got in the way of truthfully who you are. Like, truthfully. I'm going to say something that I feel like it's the next person that you're going to be with and that you're going to be marrying is a Pisces. And I know that's like a really I just felt it. Like even in the beginning of the read, as I was kind of getting down and talking about it, the next person you're going to be with is Pisces. I'm not saying don't look for it, okay? Because naturally when you look for shit and you sitting there and like exhausting yourself out by dealing with every single Pisces that you come across, of course it's gonna make you tired as fuck, right? Because that person is gonna become they're gonna become a natural part of your life. Like, they will naturally come in, just like you will naturally respond to their energy. They're gonna be very similar to you. Y'all gonna be very similar to each other in the means of wanting, like, the love that you both feel is unconditional. You don't have to overcompensate. You don't have to sit there and like prove to anyone what y'all's love is together, because y'all love each other, and it's gonna be solid. Like, you're not gonna have any issues or any problem knowing that this person loves you, and they gonna know that you love them, and it's like that's what it is. That's how it's supposed to be for you in a relationship. Okay, Pisces, that person is so strongly up in your energy. Even now, I feel like y'all manifesting and pulling on each other's shit. And I don't get that. I people up in here can tell you I don't get that shit on a regular basis where I feel like somebody is coming in. But that's exactly what popped in my head. Like, Pisces, like, so strong. When I was even describing your traits, I don't know if you like Pisces Venus or maybe you have a Pisces Mars. Like, your temperament is so much different than a lot of people's, honestly. You don't have, in fact, I don't even feel that you have a strong temper unless somebody is ripping into you. And this Pisces is going to start out as like a very good conversation, very sexy conversation. It's not going to be like sexual right out the gate, but I feel like it's going to get to a point to where you start feeling attracted to this person without there being a sexual relationship. And I want to highlight that shit. There's not going to be a sexual relationship. Y'all are just there and attracted to each other. This person is going to be coming in. I want to say it's going to be this year. I want to say it's going to be this year, but there's a lot of other things that you're going to have to cut off, and I feel that too. Got a fucking piece of hair in my mouth. Don't worry about it. I feel that very strongly. You're going to have to cut off a lot of different things in your life before it really... The fuck is in my mouth? Before it really hits you. Maybe it's just a piece of skin. Not cat hair. But you're going to have to cut off a lot of different things, okay? Of course I know you. Of course I know you, girl. Don't worry. I got your back. I know what type of love you're looking for. I know what type of love you're looking for. That's you just don't, like I said, you do not have a temperament. And that is shocking to me because I mean, I'm not sending shade towards nobody up in here, but the amount of mellow and chill that somebody is, even without smoking a doobie, like, you could really tell what type of person they is. Like, you don't need a doobie to be yourself. You don't need another person to tell you to be anything. You know who you are very strongly, She's Magic. And you are just a very genuine and chill and kind individual. That's just who you are. And if somebody can't accept that and they start roasting you for that shit and trying to, like, grab you and snatch you in and protect you, it's like, you don't need to be protected. You know who you love. You fall for who you fall for. And if they're going to be insecure and fight you on that shit, then you need a new person. Because the person that you meant to be with is going to be just as loving and accepting as you are. And y'all going to go out and do things together, like travel. Like, that's the main thing I pick up on, like, traveling. You just not, like, that's the thing. Like, there's not a lot of people like you out there. So that's why I feel like more inclined. You're not self-sacrificial, but you're most definitely kind and understanding. And you give people, shots. You give people tries. Mukesh, you need to be patient. If you haven't read the description, I would suggest doing that. Don't be begging me for nothing. No services. Don't be doing that. Don't beg. I don't like people who fucking beg. Trying to put pressure and shit. I don't like that shit. But I don't usually pick up on people like that. Like, I don't pick up on, like, the specific partners or the specific signs. And so the fact that came through is very highlighting. That Pisces. You gonna meet them when you gonna basically meet them. I feel like when y'all both in a place of, like, cutting out certain energies for good. Like, it's never going to be, I'm going to come back to this person and communicate with them and talk to them and be alongside them. It's never going to be like that. You're not ever going to have to worry about you or this person going backwards. It's all about forward movement from where y'all at. You're going to meet this person when you have decided that I know my worth and I don't need anyone to tell me how to be, who to be, what to be. I just am. You can accept that or you don't. And if you don't, get the fuck on. In a nicer way. Right? I know you would say it in a nicer way. It's like, maybe we're just not cut. Like, maybe you're just not for me. But sometimes you gotta say fuck you to people. I know you don't want to use that type of language, but she said, no, I do have a foul mouth occasionally, but it just depends on the situation. She's like, I do have a foul mouth, but it depends on who I'm around. Am I around my friends or am I around, new people? Because with new people, I'll save the swear words. I'll save that shit. But once we start chopping it up, I swear like a fucking sailor. I might not be saying like all the bitches and hoes and stuff like that, but I'll be saying some shit. I know you funny too. That's the thing. All right, you said my ex-friend has blocked. Oh no, like, see, this is the shit. When I'm mad, oh yeah. When you mad, and I picked up on other things too, but I'll save that. I'll save that. So that you still haven't learned the motherfucking thing. Don't come up and be posting the question in the chat and spamming it. I will tell you exactly what you need to do. Say hello. Introduce yourself. Be kind. Right? Read the description. Says free card pull. Right? But you also have to be patient. So if you're not patient, I'm not going to give you the reading. If you spam the chat, it's not going to increase your chances of getting a reading. If you're kind and you're willing to wait and be patient, I will scroll back, look at your question, and I will answer it. Be patient. This is not Hot Coochie Express. This is an establishment. Yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about. Iridescent Future. You said, hi, I'm Capricorn and a new subscriber. Can I have a card pull, please? Are you still here? Let me know if you're still here. Because if you say something, then yeah, you can have a little read. Like I said, I'll keep y'all, those of you that's like to spam the chat out, I'll keep y'all speechless. I will literally remove all your rights. So don't play with me. I'll do the 24-hour shit. I've been doing like 30 minutes and shit like that. But like I said, don't be rushing me. It's just that simple. Have some decorum. Some decorum. You here? Okay, bet. Sorry, I'm getting like skin off my lip. I'm not trying to like pucker over y'all or nothing like that. I just feel like I got scared. The planet having larger lips, right? Okay, your card pole, Iridescent Future. You are a Capricorn. I love me some cat. Okay. You deserve that patience. Thank you. Y'all will enjoy. Thank you. I appreciate it. She's magic. Take your time. See? That's the shit. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the type of energy I'm talking about. Like when somebody say that, I feel like I can relax. Okay. Iridescent Future. I'm gonna pull 3 cards for you. Okay, yeah. Bet. See what you be doing, because Iridescent Future, I feel like there's you feel like you draw in a certain type of person, and I'm gonna say like you are what you eat. I don't know if that's like weird or nothing. I feel like you are what you eat. You have a very sensual attraction like level to people. It's like your sexuality, I feel like, highlights a lot of the types of relationships that you're in. And if you currently in one right now, I feel like the sexual basis and the sexual biz are so powerful and so strong. At times, I don't think you know how to like let one another like talk about like feelings and emotions and the raw and real shit. There's also like a side to you that's super like, I want to say like gangster player type, but there's a part of you that I feel very, very much so like you connect through a physical means. And if the physical means ain't there, or the physical means begins to drop, you start feeling very, very uncomfortable with a person, because you just don't know what to say past that point. You're like, okay, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, I can say you sexy, I can say you fine, I can say you a dime piece, I can say that like, okay, you know, like you got a big, you know, but like once it gets into those emotional bits, you just don't know what the fuck to say. You're lost. And so you then, Iridescent, you have the audacity to get confused at why you just keep attracting sexual energy. Come on now, Iridescent Future. You know why. Don't you play. You know why. Us Capricorns, we have issues. We got issues with that. If you're not willing to sit there and be completely vulnerable, I mean, from the beginning of the relationship, from the very beginning, if you're not willing to sit there and talk about yourself, you are not going to get an in-depth relationship. You will get a surface level
level physical attraction to somebody, but it will never surpass that point. And eventually you will get bored. And you're like, iridescent, I felt that. I just felt what you were going to say. You were like, well, I'm not trying to take anyone serious right now. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. But why are you trying to say that when I know in reality you are trying to take people seriously? You are trying to understand and trying to, feel people out. Like, you are. Well, I'm not trying to do all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not interested in none of that type of relationship right now. Like, I've had it rough. I've had it hard my whole entire life. I keep it thugging. I keep it real. I keep it hustling. But, baby, you keep it hustling, but you a hustler that wants some love. You a hustler that wants some love. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to ignore that part of yourself or push that down, right? That you want love. Just be real about it. Just be raw about it. That might sound stupid. You might feel like you sound stupid as fuck when you say you want love. You might think you sound like, damn, like, I've been, searching for somebody my whole entire life that makes sense for me. And it's like, I don't want to be too quick on it. See, that's what I mean. He says, soon-to-be Capricorn ex-husband has gotten himself caught up in some side sexual mess. I'm here chilling, wanted to be divorced ASAP. Okay, so y'all haven't been in love since... I'm going to be real with you. This is why I feel this type of energy with you. And I felt this even about myself. I'm a Cap, so like I said, I understand it. I get it. The potential that you saw in his mess, in his situation, like in who he was, right? You saw potential for there to be a great relationship. You did not love him. And I'm not saying that that's a wrong thing, because love is not instant. You should, like, even love at first sight, there are stipulations today. It's not instant. It's not instantaneous. They might be able to lay the pipe well. They might be able to eat the coochie good. But there's certain things that Capricorns look for. Okay? We look for a very calming and progressive being. We need someone who's forward movement in the ways that we aren't, right? We need someone who's willing to, like, break it down communication style, because sometimes we don't know how necessarily to do that. When we see the potential in someone who's also financially stable, that's also a plus. That also puts us in, like, the state of mind of, okay, then we could create a family together because I'm also stable, or I'm also trying to be there. You know what I mean? I could see it with you because I hear all the things you're talking about. I hear you and I see you. And, like, you felt like you totally understood who he was. Just like he felt that same exact way. But once y'all really got into the serious side of y'all's relationship, I think y'all both, even when y'all got, like, married, y'all both started to realizing, I made a horrible fucking mistake. Because this is not the person I thought I married. And it's because both of y'all missed and skipped that step of, like, really getting into the emotional side and talking about your past. You skipped that part. And he does not understand your past. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand your relationship with whoever you had as a parental. He doesn't understand the harshness. I can't speak. Harshness. I have a lisp as well, but ignore that. He does not understand how you came to be who you are. And you see his situation, and you're like, okay, he's had a more stable situation than I have. Okay, it is what it is. But, like, I think what you missed out on is, like, he's ignorant. He just simply is. He's ignorant because he feels like all women are this way. He feels like all women are like you. Oh, all women have issues with a mommy and daddy. All women got this issue. That's how he said. That's literally how he says how I feel. Oh yeah. Oh, you just like all the other women. Y'all all got daddy issues. You got this issue. You got that issue. He's ignorant. He has no sense of awareness. He's so unaware of your life and even his own life that, like, there's nothing there as a partner that like matches like a adult energy. He's like a child. You know what I mean? He's like a fucking child. He's like a baby. And you're like, dude, that's so fucking, you're obnoxious. You're irritating. You're whiny. Like, you're a pig. Like, how did I end up, and you're sitting there beating yourself up, like, how did I end up with such a pig? You saw potential. It's not like you sat there and specifically chose out a narcissist. You saw potential in someone who seemed to have, they lied a lot of the time and seemed to have a lot of the stable traits that you thought you wanted in a partner, and you thought you could become in love with somebody who was very much so stable. And we just got done talking about this earlier too. We just got done talking about this shit earlier, where it's like Capricorn seeks out Taurus and Capricorn seek out a relationship that is fully and entirely based on stability. So not only do you have to be financially stable, we also have to seek out the emotional stability. If you see, certain traits in them that look good, it doesn't mean they are good. It just means, like, for now, with all the information that you know and have gathered, it looks decent. You have to just go based on, like, talking and communicating with that person. And you have to continue to talk and communicate up until you see through their every single move. And that's something you didn't do. You just didn't do that. Okay? You didn't do that. Because you thought for sure, I will be able to fall in love with this person. I will be able to be with this individual. I will be able to connect with him and do this and do. That's what you said. But, like, now look at it. Right? Now you've learned. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really hard lesson, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's so, like, pig-like. I just, that pig-like energy, I hate that shit. I feel that shit very strongly about him, is that he's very much like a pig. Lazy. He's lazy. Extremely lazy. You said, my ancestors told me his business in my dreams, and the evidence I have on him, I could ruin his career. Praying it makes the divorce more fair. He won't communicate. He's so called. Yeah. So, like, now that you are getting into a free space, how you went in this and how you went about this relationship, I know you've learned from it, but I really want you to learn from you what your expectations are. Because I believe your expectations are more than reasonable, but I feel like you need more of them. I feel like if you ever, like, once you decide to snap into finding a new partner in a new situation, which it might be a year from now, it might be months from now, it might be next month, who the fuck knows? It doesn't matter, because everyone's healing is different. But once you, and for Capricorn, a lot of time, for us, it's like 2 years. Let's be real. 2, 5 years, 10 years. We sit there and we're like, I will never ever do this shit again. You could bet your motherfucking ass. But I will say to you that you need more expectations. Value yourself more. Because you have to realize, even without certain stable points for you in your own life, you know what I mean? You are an incredible individual. You are an incredible individual. You deserve to feel safe and wanted and comfortable and free in a connection, in a relationship. You deserve that. You deserve a relationship without chaos. Okay? You deserve someone who could help you have fun. Right? And see you for you and accept you as you are. So, if anything, like, once you get into the zone where you feel like you're ready again, I suggest you you should write down what you want. Like I said, and add more in there. You are allowed to be a little bit more picky, right? A good provider is great, but it's great on paper, because if he's a good provider and a piece of shit, right, that's just not gonna cut it. A good communicator, like you just said, you're like, I try to communicate and he doesn't listen. He's like a giant baby. An adult baby. Okay. Next, you're going to want a communicator. A lover. They might not be completely stable in every ounce of the meaning, but neither are you. You know what I mean? Neither are you. You're figuring yourself out too. And as long as he's willing to work on it and communicate honestly with you about it, then there's not going to be an issue. Because as long as he's always letting you know where he's at and what he's doing and how he's feeling, and as long as you're asking those questions, vice versa, he's also asking those questions to you, y'all don't need to be perfect for each other. Y'all just need to be real with each other and honest. That's it. You said might need to burn something before you pull me. Pigs flying. He said burn something. I do have something I could burn. I'm not gonna lie. I do have some bay leaf I could burn. If you really be feeling that. I will. Just for the sake. Chorus iridescent future. Really write, and I mean really write that list, girl. I know you good at writing too, so don't you play. I know you good at writing. I know you're good writer. Don't you play with me. I feel like you the type to be writing movies and all that extra shit. Or script writing. Don't play. I know you good. And also put more value on what you do. Like, even if you don't work or do like the usual type of work, put more fucking value on what you do. You're awesome at it. You great at it. That, or you could be. Maybe you gave up on it once you got into this fucking relationship. Fuck that. Girl, write it down. No, you good. Make a fucking movie. Fuck it. Who the fuck is gonna stop you? You're not broken. Your hands aren't broken. Spirit been telling me to run for years. I'm glad you're listening and your ears are open. Ari, I burn you some bay leaf. I cash out for a card pull. Thank you, Francis. I'll get you. I'll get you right after Ari. Of course, iridescent future. Let's see what's going on. Alright, let's get that card pull. Right up the gate. Okay, we're gonna pull another card because I feel like that's kind of how you feel, right? Okay, 5 of eggs. Okay. So, I feel like this is about a couple different things going on. This is about love and trust, but this is also about finances. Okay, so financially, I feel like you've always been in a crux of being not stingy. I'm not gonna say stingy, but most definitely you've had a hard time with controlling that aspect of your life, because I feel like that aspect of your life from the beginning, or from literally from childhood, the examples that you had in that way were not great. Okay, impulse control is what I pick up on. And you have a really hard time with impulsive saving. I want to say it's like the opposite of impulsive spending. It might be impulsive saving, or you might want to save every single little thing. You might even collect things that you think will be helpful for you in the future that don't really end up being helpful for you at all. And honestly, you could just sell them and get rid of them. And it's you sit there and you claim it. And there's a traumatized child in you that feels the need to keep these things. There's a traumatized child in you that hoards that. And this also connects to your love life. Okay? So no shame here. I'm not judging you or nothing like that. Nobody's judging. If somebody's judging them, they're getting booted. And it's just a safe space. So you're allowed to talk about this too. You're allowed to talk about it. Nobody's gonna, like I said, bully you or make fun of you. This is something that's very real, because there's a lot of people that have been here. You said, I've struggled with homelessness and domestic violence all my life. I can totally hoard. Yeah. So all of these things that you physically keep near you now, even if you're not necessarily hoarding in a physical sense, there's not physical materials, this is also an emotional hoard. You keep yourself in a place at times of hiding, right? You hide who you really are in order to keep the people who you feel are a threat to you. And this is anyone. Like I said, this might not even be someone who's hurt you yet. You just keep yourself away from threats. It's almost like the idea of a child hiding under a bed. It's like a child hears something scratching in the closet. It may be a cat or it may be a monster. They hide under the bed. They go under the bed and hide, or they go under the sheets and hide. And they sit there and they scream for the mom, and it's like mom isn't, like for you, it's like mom isn't coming or dad isn't coming, like nobody's coming to save you or help you, so you have to save and help yourself. And you sit there scared and defending your own, you defend your own body, you defend your own self, you defend your own money, you defend your own home, and no one's there to help you do it. No one's there to help quench that part of you and make you feel safe. No one's here to do that. In fact, each and every single relationship that you've dealt with, they've never made you feel that way. You've always been making them feel that way. Never in return. It's like you showed them exactly how you want to be treated and what you want done and how you want to be loved, and they never show that to you. They never show that in return. It's always a tit for tat situation where you might be able to get a sexual relationship out of them. You might be able to get like, okay, them calling you honey and dow and sweetie pie and honey bunches and this way and that way. But they never are truthfully going to sit there and listen to your emotions and feelings and communicate to you about why you feel the way that you feel. Yeah, I'm in a house with constant abuse, but I saw them as chosen family for the last 7 years. Nobody ever came. You're right. That's why you had to choose for yourself. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these abandonment issues and like a lot of these times where you were hurt, you had no other choice but to protect yourself. And so this is why you chose a situation that you saw, I want to say lesser abuse in. Like it's lesser, but it's still there. And it's still hurting you and it's still harming you. And it's still making you feel very trapped and insecure. So this, like, when you're looking for progress, because I see that's what you're looking for. You are truthfully, you're not just looking for progress in love and money. You're looking for progress across your whole entire span of your life. You're looking for progress in you as a person. You're looking for you to move forward and feel good about it without feeling that shame or that guilt of being able to like surpass others around you, because they constantly try to bring you down. That's what it is. They hang a noose around your neck and tie you to the bed frame. That's what I pick up on. Is that type of energy, like you a fucking dog or like a house pet, house animal. Like you tired of that shit too. I can feel that you tired of that shit, and it's hard to keep yourself feeling positive and like affectionate and on top of everything and energetic, because at the end of the day, at your core, you are an energetic individual. But it's hard to release that energy in a way that's positive without putting it into like romance or like some person that maybe sees you as a temporary feeling. It's hard not to put that energy out there for those people because you see that as your only way of being able to cope. But there's the emotional hoarding thing. You constantly put yourself in a situation where you feel like you have to sacrifice. And that's hurting you pretty badly. You're like, I might have to sacrifice my sanity in order to do this and do that, in order to have a normal job or to have the job that I want or to have the relationship that I want. I have to sacrifice my sanity. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. You say, yeah, I'm trying to find strength to go to a shelter. I know I can't. You can. You know that you can. Breaks my heart and I can't carry everyone. Yes, my friends say they don't want to come visit because they feel like I'm Cinderella. That shit is scary, Ari. That is not something any human being, any child, any adult should have to go through. That is, plus that's not you. That's not you. And you know that's not you. You know that that's not you. So as you sit in that situation and deny yourself the freedom and the right of being an adult and of being like I said, you chose it up until this point. It hasn't been other people who have saved you and protected you. It's been you. So furthermore, this is even more reason on why you should trust yourself enough to protect yourself going forward, going to the shelter and getting the housing that you need, applying for the apartment and getting into a situation where you're much safer and you can protect your own self, because you've been doing that since day one and you need to continue to do that moving on. And until you get out of this situation where they're still keeping you in a cage, in a box, and keeping you down so that you have to stay there and take care of them, that's not fear. You know what I mean? Until you leave that situation, the success and the things that you're reaching out and crying out for is not going to come to you. You know that they keep you stagnant. It's not you keeping you stagnant. It's not you being lazy. It's not you being a person that oh well, you know, I'm too much of a bitch to do this, or I'm too much of a loser to do this. It's not those things. Those are all things that people have told you. Those are all things that people continue to put in your head. Oh, you an overreactor. You know, you got too much energy. You're too this. You're too that. Picking and prodding at the parts of you that are honestly, you know, like I said, that those are things that are going to move you forward into the future. Those are all the good things that you need to take with you. You too trusting. You too this way. You too that way. You too affectionate. You too, like, fuck you. You know, you too much of a bastard. Like, get the fuck away from me. Don't talk to me like that. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. Like, you never got that rebel with a cause type situation. In fact, I feel like that they put the rebel out of you. Like, when you was super, super young, you might have been a rebel super young. But as you grown into adult, you became very, very mellow. Which is not like you. Like I said, that is not who you are. I know that's not who you are. So, the sorceress in the upright. Sorceress in the upright represents a point of spiritual awakening, where now that you have come into a place to where you truly like believe in spirit, believe in intuition, believe in like psychic ability, you're actually able to like view situations from the outside. It's not like a dissociation. It's more like an association. Like you are able to see the situation from the outside and realize when people are intentionally doing shit, trying to hurt you or trying to sabotage you. I legit have to take medication from all the gaslighting. I know I can do this. Yeah, I promise you that though the things that you have to do now in order to survive are not going to be what you have to do when you're out on your own. You cannot be afraid to be alone, because you've been alone this whole entire time. They have not been there for you, not in the way that you needed, and they still not there for you. The fact that you have to take medication in order to feel calm, in order to mellow the fuck out, they're suppressing who you are just by you existing in that environment. They're keeping you away from who you are. Truthfully, they're keeping you away from the love that you could have. You know, the love that you could choose for yourself. They're keeping you away from that. You did not, even the situation that you're in where you say, this is my chosen family, you did not choose this. That's not what you chose. That's not what you wanted. So it's not what you chose. It's not what you wanted. You did not choose this. No, the fuck you didn't. In fact, I know right now that you could choose much fucking better by choosing yourself. Hard to believe. What part about your awareness is hard to believe? Because I hope you know that you've been aware for a very long time. This is not new for you. So even though there's periods of times where you have to, like I said, dissociate in order to be like, in order to ignore what's being done to you or done around you, but you've been this way the whole time. That's a part of you. You've been that way the whole entire time. You have been aware the whole time. Even when you was young, it was hard not to be aware, right? Even the times where you had to like put off your own life and having friends and having relationships and romance and having a job and having all the times that you had to sacrifice for these people and then put off your life, you've been aware that they're using you and doing these things to you. You've been aware. You've seen the vision already. You've been knowing. You've been knowing their intentions all along. Because from the beginning, you didn't have that type of stability where you were able to remain a child and remain a irresponsible, little shithead. You know what I mean? You couldn't act out and act up. You couldn't be a child. You couldn't play. You couldn't be normal, right? when in reality, majority of us aren't normal and aren't born into normal circumstances whatsoever. So I don't know why we even consider anything to be normal. What about healthy? What about healthy? Right. What about healthy? Ari, you need this. It's not a want. I want to move out. I want to get out. I want to wait. You can't wait no more. It's not about it's not even about finances anymore. You can't wait. This is unsafe. I'm tired. I feel alone. I just want to be a baby. I feel that. Know who I am. I want my villain era. You already in it. Even by thinking these things, even by feeling these things, even by like speaking on it at all, you are already in your villain era. Are you in you are fully capable of the soft girl era. You are fully capable of that. But it's gonna start where you are completely and utterly alone, and you're gonna strip yourself of all those things that they taught you, all the things that they tried to teach you about who you are, because who they thought you are is not who you are at all, especially internally. It's just not. You are not gonna lose everything by making this decision. You will win so much more. They gonna try to like convince you that it's the wrong way to go. They're gonna try to convince you like, oh, where the fuck you gonna go? What the fuck you gonna do? You gonna live with the drug addicts or live alongside these people and that you're gonna live in a horrible. It's like, what is more horrible than what you're dealing with? Like, can I say that? What is more horrible than what you're already dealing with? What is more traumatizing than what you're already dealing with? Because at the end of the day, you have the power to protect yourself. But you need to get away from the people who try to take that power away from you. And try to have like dominance over you. That's crazy. That's crazy shit. And then at the end of the day, it's not like they say I'm sorry, They just sit there doe-eyed like they did nothing wrong. Like they ain't shit, baby, and that's the truth. Nobody knows how much pain you deal with on a daily basis. They think they do, and they will sit there and try to say that they understand it, but they don't. So you need to go out there and understand yourself. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. They are going to fight tooth and nail to keep you where you're at, but you don't need to be where you're at no more. You need to be gone, and you need to be living that life, soaking up the sun, sipping on the coconut type shit, enjoying yourself and enjoying your body. It's pretty bad, yeah. Probably why and the hoarding is not. I'm gonna be real with you, Ari. The hoarding is not gonna go away, okay? But what you need to do is definitely therapy. I know you said you're taking medication already, so I'm getting probably that you probably already in that type of situation where you are seeing your therapist. But you're gonna need therapy, and you might need a new one. You might need a new therapist. You know what I mean? There's no shame in that either. Most worried how to leave without starting all over with nothing. It's taking a lot. Yeah, but what you have is built on bullshit, and you already know that. It's everything that you had built, that you thought you built in a safer environment. You built in just another nasty ass situation. You just built it in another nasty ass situation. I got 3 therapists. Okay, then get more. You know what I mean? Like, get as many as you need in order to feel supported and loved and appreciated. But don't sit here like this is your only option, because it's not. It was already built on bullshit and lies and deception, and people saying they stable when they wasn't, and people acting a certain way towards you in the beginning and then acting crazy at other times. Bipolar shit. Bipolar as fuck. Bipolar shit. Don't sit there and act like this was the situation that you asked for and that you wanted, because it's not. That keep me aware. That's really good. That's really good that you have people there to be like, girl, don't you let yourself go. Don't you let yourself fall into this repetitive cycle. Don't you let yourself get down like that. Ari, the quicker and the faster that you get yourself out of that situation, I'm telling you, the lighter you will feel. Sometimes leaving with nothing is freedom for the new version of you. You're exactly right, Malibu. Sometimes leaving and letting everything go that you've built up is the only way to build something new, to eradicate the past, to move past what you've been through, and to finally experience something healthy and positive and new. Sometimes you gotta shit can the old shit and let go. Let go. It's like a trust fall situation. At the end of the day, you should be trusting yourself with that responsibility, with starting anew. You deserve it too. It's not like you've been sitting here and acting ungrateful or messy. You deserve it. You deserve it. You do. You really do. And you could do so much with that new shit. Like, you could do so much with that new state of mind and with that healing. You're not going to remain the same person as you was before. You are not going to need to be defensive, or you're not going to need to sit here and pretend like everything's okay. You're not going to have to sit here, and the medication shit, like, that varies with where you're at in life. You might not even be on we might not even be talking to the same woman by the end of this year, or by the beginning of next. We might not even be talking to the same girl. It will change for you. It will. You're like, I get all these voices in my head that tell me I'm this way and tell me I'm that way. The voices are not you. I hope you realize that. The voices are the people around you. So, as much as you might have like the voices and shit like that, and the shitty mental health, that's gonna remain the people around you. You know what I mean? That's what it is that keeps triggering you into those states of mind and mental breakdowns and nervous breakdown type shit. That's the people around you triggering and causing that, even if they're not directly talking to you or communicating with you. Okay? That's them. That is them. That's your past still eating at you and gnawing at your brain and at your heart. It's still there. Because you don't want to remove it. You don't want it to be over, but it has to be. It's limiting you. And by the time this is all over and that you finally reach out for that situation to where you can feel happy and fulfilled, you will look back and see a completely different individual. And you will be able to teach this to other people as well. How to escape. How to be a survivor and not a victim. You'll be able to teach people that shit. I know damn well you will help people with that type of information. You will heal with that type of information. Nobody can save you except for yourself. They can't save you. You have to save yourself. You needed desperately to be saved when you was young. You need to be saved as a child, and no one stuck up for you in that way. Nobody was able to pick you up and make your life feel better. No one was able to heal that side to you. You need to be willing to heal that side to you. And that means breaking away from all the things that you've been continuously facing for the past however many years. You said the past 7 years, and I'm sure it's been going on for way longer than that, like since a baby type shit. Okay? And you said this reading was going to be difficult, but I feel like you are coming through so open and honest, and you're being very communicative, and you're not sitting here and lying on anything or denying anything. Like, you open to it, and that even shows that you're ready for something. So ready. You scared, but you ready. You know what I mean? It is hard. I agree with you. It is extremely difficult. And I'm glad that you're taking time to process certain things too. Because I feel like there's no other way, for you to actually be able to get out and remain out. To remain out of that situation and to do the full cutoff, you're going to need to actually think about it and feel it out. But remember this too, there is no right timing to be free. There is no right timing. You could do this shit today. You can call the shelter today. You can call the shelter fucking today. You can call it next month. You can call it whenever the fuck you want to, because you are you. You are you. You can help yourself today. But do it in your own time. Might take you another year. What I'm filling out is by the end of the year, but it's going to take some time. There might be one more tower moment before you hit that brink. It is a chance to be courageous, and you've already been very courageous through everything that you've been through and gone through and continuously have to go through. All you've dealt with is having to have courage and having to, fight through what these people had thrown against you. So all you've had to do is be courageous. And so what's one more time? What's one more time? I know you tired though. Rest up and feel it out. Okay, Francis. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, am I? Francis, you want that card pull. And then Jasmine, you're next after that. So get ready for that. Get your question ready. But Francis, let's see. Thank you, Ari, for your energy. Thank you for allowing me to read you and to look into your life a little bit, because everybody, struggles in their own way, but most definitely they can identify with those feelings that you're feeling right now of feeling trapped and feeling alone and anxious and, not only scared, but also holding a ton of regrets and the reason, trying to figure out the reasons on why you haven't acted earlier or why you didn't realize certain things. It's all those things are something that people feel in different scenarios in their life. So it needs to be heard, more than once for people to actually learn from it. So you didn't do anything wrong by bringing that energy in, is basically what I'm trying to say. You don't have to feel guilty or oh shit, now it feels like people are trying to pity me or look at me this way. No, you just as human as the rest of us, babe. And if I can, use your experience and your feelings and your situation to help heal and talk to others as well and let them know that it's okay to be in a certain state of mind, then most definitely I would. So you don't have to feel bad about that or guilty or feel like you shitting on anyone's parade, because if people come in and expect something that's super lighthearted and funny and goofy, we're not like that here. We just realistic here. We just real with it. I don't have the energy to be fun and goofy all the fucking time. I'm a dry humored. I'm a Capricorn. I joke about shit that's real. You know what I mean? I low-key be saying some fucked up shit, but I'm making it funny. I use humor and sarcasm to vocalize the truth. Thank you so much. Of course, Ari. Thank you for rolling through, like I said. Okay. Francis. Oh, man. Rebuilding your castle. That's what I feel like the energy is, Francis. This might be being fired from a job, or maybe your job dropped in some type of way, or maybe financially and emotionally everything kind of went south for you. Everything kind of falling apart at the same time. You didn't understand before why it had to happen this way, but you understand now. 100%. I feel like you just didn't understand how you could recover from whatever went down. You really didn't understand it. Nine of Scarabs in the reverse. It's like, okay, so I had to, basically, I had every single thing in my life blow the fuck up in my face. And then I had to sit there and pick apart the fucking mess uncomfortably, and sitting there basically alone, where nobody to help me, nobody to guide me, nobody to do basically anything for me. I had to figure out my financial experience. I had to figure out my emotional experience, my romantic situation. I had to figure all this out all at the same time for what? You're like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck, man? Eight of Scarabs in the upright or in the reverse. It's like everybody threw their fucking hands up and said, I can't do anything for you. All at the same time. But Francis, this was specifically meant to point out who was really there for you. And I know, like, that seems like a super simple, it seems like a really simple vibe. It's like, okay, you could have taught me any other way, but you had to do this. No. This was meant to highlight how much you do for you and how much nobody else does for you. It was supposed to highlight the inequality in the workplace and in the partnerships. It was supposed to do that for you. Okay? So though it was extremely traumatizing, it fucked you up, it left you for, you know, it left you basically for I'm going to say for dead, but I feel like it left you in a situation where you were like very, very scarred, very emotionally scarred. You didn't feel like anything around you was real. And so you shut down. You dissociated. You know, you felt like, oh my God, like this, my life is a lie, basically. It's like, or my everything in my life feels like it lied to me. You know, I have nothing to trust in, nothing to believe in. You know, not even a fucking God can save me from this shit. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, yo, you had to do all this now. Like, really? I felt I was just getting up in the world. But when a relationship or when a job is built on those false pretenses, when it's built on the fact that, like, you're unhappy, but you're gonna just deal with it and accept the responsibility and accept what it is as it is, when you're not happy, you're not in love. Hey, Mills, you're not happy. You're not happy with that partner. You're not happy with that job. You accept it because it got you by. It was the bare minimum. It kept you from having to stay on the street. It kept your person, your partner, you know, they kept you warm at night. The bare minimum survival tactics. That's what you're dealing with, Francis. That's what they needed to teach you. How much you do for you. Like, you do it all. You are the one that makes the fucking world move in your situation. It's you. There is nothing and no one that you could have counted on. And that you continue to kind of like bring up this situation where it's like, oh my God, they've hurt me so bad. Like, oh, I don't know how I'm ever going to recover from this. Like, you bring up them, but I really want you to highlight you. Really. Highlight you. While they have put you in the position of understanding that you have nobody and nothing, you also put yourself in a position of not fully like recognizing how your worth, like your self-worth, like how much you really truly have to do in order to please other people. And I'm saying you don't have to do those things anymore. This has released you, this has let you down, but it's also released you from that problem, from that issue. You need to separate yourself from those people who try to use you. And this means that man, that partner. It highlights specifically that fucking partner. Because you already know he's been there using you since day one. And like, you know, okay, you know, there's going to be like some pushback from you on this, because you're gonna be like, well, no, like he has been there occasionally, but it's like we just back and forth with it. Like I want to leave him, but I love him so much. You love that he accepts how loving and giving you are. You love that he accepts your gifts and accepts your, he accepts how strong you are. You're extremely strong-willed. You have a very strong personality. You don't take bullshit. You love that he accepts those things sometimes. And other times he completely rejects you and makes you feel unheard and acts unbothered by your stress, by your emotional, by where you're at emotionally. He gives you the bare minimum, and he takes from you constantly. He takes from you. He does. He takes from you all the fucking time and puts you in a place where you have to explode in order to be heard. What you really need to do, Francis, is boot this motherfucker. Give him enough motherfucking courage. And it's not about letting him know how you feel or how you felt. It's about renewal. It's about renewing your life. Like I said, self-value. If somebody isn't about to give to you the same, like if you're willing to give this man the shirt off your fucking back, he should be willing and ready to do the motherfucking same instantly. There should be no question about it. Well, there should be no, well, what you gonna do with the money? He knows your situation. So he knows what you're gonna do with your money. He knows that shit is to pay rent. He knows that shit is to go get some fucking food. Put some food in your mouth. And put some food in your family mouth. He knows how down and like I said, you are a woman. You're a whole unit. He knows you will never ever do him dirty. He knows that. And that's why he continues to sit there and do you dirty. Because he knows you accept him for being a pig. When really, instead of him rejecting you, it should be you rejecting him. He is not worth it. He is not worth it. Well, he's been there for some really hard moments in my life. He has not been there. He has been the bare minimum in your life. The one person that you feel like has maintained a somewhat of like consistent value, right? Somewhat. At least he gives you a fucking McDonald's coupon or something every once in a while, right? Because that is enough for a human being to love you and want to be near you, right? A McDonald's coupon and a fucking, like I said, a Happy Meal, and that's enough, right? Or he pays for my nails once a month, my fills or whatever. Like, that's enough? No. Do not put yourself continuously into this situation where you are gaining the bare minimum for all of the work that you do with him and for him. You've done a lot of changing for him. He's done no changing for you. He refuses to do that. And in fact, it doesn't matter what couples counselor or marriage counselor, or it doesn't matter who you're sitting in front of. You could be sitting in front of fucking Steve Wilkos. You could be sitting in front of Jerry Springer, and this nigga would never ever change his tune, because that's who he is. He will not realize the star he lost until the star is gone. And that will be his whole entire life, because he chooses to be that way. You don't need to choose to be with him. You don't need to do that tit for tat, push and pull shit, because he will keep using and abusing that part of you. You don't have infinite time to deal with his shit. Just like he feels like he has infinite time to fuck with your emotions. You don't have it. You don't have time anymore. You want to be happy. You don't want to be in a horrible situation, but you keep living for that drama, Francis. You live for that drama that he brings you. Even if he's bringing you all this negative and horrible and terrible feeling, you live for that. You love that about him. You love that he cares enough to bring drama to your fucking doorstep. Because you've never had anyone care about you as much as he has. And that is the bare minimum. That's what he's doing right now. I'm going to take that back because I do feel like you've had people who care about you in your life, but it's at a cost. You always had to give them a part of yourself in order to receive love. You always had to give them something financially. Give them something sexually. You've always had to do that. Always. But that's not what love is, babe. It's not what love is. It is not the type of relationship that you've been wanting all your life. It's not. And that might be hard to gripe with now because you're still fucking the dude and talking to the dude. But that's not the person that you want to be with. And that's not the person you want to be. You know, someone who gets you worked up and fucked up in the game. And someone who puts you on a line. Someone who like doesn't even support you when you lose your fucking cool and lose your job. You have a nervous breakdown because he's not supporting you. He's not, asking you how you are. He's leaving you to feel and think whatever you want to think. He's leaving you alone. He's leaving you to be single practically. There's no support from him. It might be borderline, like I said, financially. It might give you a coupon, throw a coupon in every once in a while. But you do a lot for him. So much. And he does nothing. And there's nothing you can ask him to do. I don't know if y'all in like a agreement together, like a homing or housing agreement together, like you in an apartment together. But like I said, one of y'all needs to move out. If it's you, baby. Get the fuck out. Away from that situation, even if you have to move back home. And I know shit was stressful for you back there. I know shit was stressful for you in your original situation, but it was not like this. Even if you have to temporarily sit there for a couple of months until your check come through, jump out. I know that you have someone who loves you so much. Like I said, they don't understand you, but they love you. It's a family member. I know that. They never understood you. We're married. Maybe y'all need space away from each other then to figure out and serve that fucking divorce paper. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You need to leave his ass. He don't got nothing for you, and I know at the end of the day that, you don't want to do with a court system. You'd rather just, like, maintain distance and do this, but do it. Get free, girl. Like, you still young. Like, you definitely still young enough to get, like I said, find you a man who loves you. And in fact, y'all will find each other. But this man don't love you. He uses you. He loves the fact that you allow him to do that. He don't love you. He loves what you give him. You like I said, you have a family member who loves you so much. I don't know who this is, but I pick up on this very strongly. This person, I don't know if she's been like, maybe she's told you he's bad news from the beginning, or he has told you he's bad news from the beginning. Whoever he is, though, this person will be the one that to shelter you. I don't know if you're worried about that. You're like, I'm worried because I would have to be the one that leaves, or if I kick him out of the house, I don't know if I'd feel safe. Like, there's someone who really will support you here. Like I said, they don't understand you fully, and y'all have never really gotten to the point of being like on great terms or bad terms. Like, you've always been neutral really about this person, but they love you. So I will let you know that. It's like always maybe tit for tat with this person. They might be originally the person who had hurt you in this way, where you felt like you had to like give up on yourself. But this person has also done a lot of changing. And I think the traumatized child version of yourself needs to realize that. They have done a lot of changing. And I'm not saying you need to forgive them for everything that they have done to you, but communicate. What's happening right now, communicate. If communicate what's happening right now and tell me that this person doesn't have your back. Because I know they will. They will tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. Leave this dirty fucking dirt bag. Get the fuck out of there. Don't stick around for this. Because he will put you in such a bad place. He will give you 20 more mental breakdowns before you ever actually have to leave from this situation. You know what I mean? He will put you in such a bad place, and you don't deserve to feel this way. You're beautiful. You're strong. You have a heart. You're kind. But I know she hurt you, like I said. But that person would tell you the exact same thing I'm telling you right now. And like I said, she done a lot of growing. And you're like, I don't believe you. I wouldn't believe me either right away. I want you to gain and rebuild trust with her. I don't want to put that pressure on you of like, no, you need to forgive her. I'm not saying that. Because like I said, I don't believe in forgiveness. That hands down. If somebody was a piece of shit to you and treated you like dirt, that can never be forgiven. You're never going to forget that moment. But what you can do is build new shit, raw shit with somebody, and rebuild trust based off of who they are now and not who they were. Because who they were, it wasn't shit. Who they are now, they might have found themselves. Just as you're trying to find yourself. And though I know it's going to be hard for you also to be like, yeah, I don't want to listen to the advice that this bitch has to give me, because she always chose men, or always chose to be in fucked up situations in front of me and never chose me. Well, I'm not even saying that either. I'm just saying to be able to have somewhere to go, because I know she would do that for you. If you're worried about losing the house or losing a space to stay, and he's keeping you there just to fuck with you, this person would most definitely, give you temporary shelter, temporary means. Okay? And you're not walking backwards by moving back in with her, okay? You're not walking backward, because like I said, I see you right away finding another housing situation if you're worried about that. I see you going to another situation and being able to get up on your own 2 feet and go right back to healing. Because that, like I said, you deserve to be loved and have someone appreciate your beauty and your kindness and your strength. You deserve that. And it's not none of these nasty motherfuckers that you've been dealing with. And especially this man who's been treating you like you're basically just the rug that he stands on. And he wipes his fucking feet on when he walks into the house. That's not, no. Not for such a strong and loving woman like you. Don't do that. No. We're not going to sit there for that. Leave his dirty ass. He ain't never going to stop the bullshit. He just, that's who he is. And I think you decided a long time ago that like I said, the family member, that's who you decided. You honestly, you trying to break generational trauma by leaving. By even thinking about leaving, because the trauma that you faced and experienced with the woman we talking on, it's very similar. It's so similar. In fact, it is painfully similar. Very. You didn't realize how similar it was until it started bringing up all this trauma from your past, how that person treated you. To California, I'm in Florida. You in the next California, basically. Yeah, that shit is growing like fucking wildfire. I can tell you that. You could start over as many times as you want. I know it's hard. It's hard to imagine because you've already built all of this. But like, what did you really build though? Like I said, a relationship on false pretense is not a relationship. It's a temporary solution to a feeling that you have. That's never ever going to feel better. It's always going to grow, and you're going to grow to hate, and you're going to grow to regret, and you're going to continue to grow to hate yourself because you regret the situation you're in. And keep taking them back, and keep trying to hash out old issues that he never ever truly wants to solve, and he knows you'll crawl back into his arms. If you got to go back to fucking California, baby, to get your head on straight, then do so. Florida is a great place to start over, right? I agree with that one. I agree with that. And I'm sure it was a good idea for you, and it felt like it was going to be good for you, like healing for you, because you wanted to get away from all the trauma and all the bullshit that family was bringing you, the stress, because a lot of it was stress. There's love there, but just a lot of stress too. There's a lot of love. I feel like you want to accept that now, and you feel selfish. I don't feel like you should feel selfish. You chose something for yourself, and unfortunately, everything we choose for ourselves isn't always the best, because we don't come from the best. Sometimes we come from the worst of the worst, and sometimes we just choose a slight upgrade from that. And that's not something where you should feel ashamed or feel guilty. And like I said, the person that I'm talking about, the woman that I'm talking about, that family member that I'm talking about, she would get you. She would understand it. I can even hear you talking about it now, like crying over the phone, and you sitting there and feeling weak, and this person picking you the fuck up and be like, you strong as fuck. Like, I have you. I got you. And I hold you. You know what I mean? I got you. And that person that you were seeking when you were super, super young is here now. Okay? With that family member. That specific one. And I knew you instantly recognized who I was talking about. So, because I picked up on all the addiction issues and, like, you know, picked up on sex addiction, drug addiction, all that. Like I said, that person is totally changed. Not totally changed, but changed enough to where I think she will want to be in your life and to take part in your healing, and for y'all to heal together. I don't know if she's been to like therapy or something like that. It might be therapy. She might have gotten clean, whatever it is. Like, you know, there's just a lot of difference in who she is now. And you wanted to recognize that, but like before you even could, I feel like that, you know, that man has distanced you and, you know, made your world revolve around him, which from the beginning you knew was wrong. You felt that it was wrong. In fact, you felt very reluctant to leave even the space that you were in. Because, like, is this really for me? Like, is this man really, like, about to give me all of this and all of that? But, like I said, from the beginning, you were reluctant. You've learned a lesson. And maybe this is a lesson of love, right? Maybe this is a lesson of loving yourself. Maybe this is a lesson of overcoming somebody who will refuse for the rest of their life to choose you and chooses drugs or chooses other women or chooses a certain lifestyle over you. And now that you've grown and adult enough to understand that that's selfish and disrespectful and nasty, and that you have every right in the world to want to divorce and get away from that. Like, now that you have a choice, that's what I'm saying. You have a choice. You do. Like, well, I have no choice in where I'm staying after this. No, you do. You do. You do. Okay? You just do. You like, pray for me, keep me in your thoughts type shit. I feel like your mama doing that, or like I said, whoever this woman is, she keeps you in her thoughts all the time. All the time. Constantly praying for you. Praying that y'all communication will build back. Praying that one day there will be forgiveness, and whether it's 20, 10 years, 30 years, 40 fucking years on her deathbed, she's wanting that connection to come back again. Okay? She's not even again, like maybe there was no connection to begin with, but she's wanting a true connection with you. Okay? So that's what's up. Even if it takes her the rest of her life to correct the mistakes that she's made, she's willing to do that. I feel, like I said, I don't feel that bond with everyone's parentals or everyone's healing. Like, I know she's healing. I know she's still healing. And I know you're still healing. But I also know that y'all love each other. And I also know it's wrong for you to reject and fight somebody who is renewed and trying their hardest and trying their best for you. Just like I believe you needed time to heal from this situation, she did too, right? Both of y'all needed time. Both of y'all needed time to mend your emotional state. And now that you're in a place where you're really, really down, like I said, like you feel down, you feel like nobody has your back. I'm telling you, this woman has your back. And she's had it since day one. She could not express that. In fact, I feel like she did all of it wrong in the beginning, but now she's willing to correct and right that wrong for the rest of her life. She puts that on her life. So I would trust that. Okay? Okay, so reach out. I know you're scared and you're like, I don't really want to do this, or I don't want to have this I'm afraid that the same shit, the same cycle, the same boat. Reach out. Find a way to reach out. Communicate your exact situation and how you're feeling. She has been there before, and I'm not saying it's the same thing, because it's really not, because you are you and she is her, but she will understand it, and she will be able to help you. Man, she miss you a lot, for real. Like I said, there's a lot of love there. I will try to reach out. Yeah, you're gonna be sit there and be like, "This." I'm already going in like, "Fuck!" Like this bitch ain't gonna understand the motherfucking thing that I'm going through. She's gonna sit there and make it all about her. I really feel like she will be receptive to hearing about you and what you feeling. Like I would not, like I said, I would not tell you a fucking lie intentionally and be like, "Yeah, this bitch, you know, she hasn't changed one motherfucking bit, but you know, she'll put a roof on you." I would not tell you that unless I felt like she was a safe person to go to. She's safe. Keep your boundaries and everything like that. I know that's gonna be hard for her to respect, because she will want to know everything about you and want to know everything that's been going on and want to know you at the closest extent and become your best friend. But you're not ready for that. You're not ready for that. You're just ready to rekindle and figure out who she is, and you figure out who you are, and her try to, you know, see who you are as well. That'll be a really big part of your healing and a really big step for you. Let me see what else we had. Jasmine, you were right. You were next, I believe. The Francis, I got you, and we heard you. It's you are going through a really rough situation and transitional period of, you know, you just don't know how something so dark and so fucked up can continuously happen to you, and you don't know how to find or reach for that light. But like sometimes the light is only created by you. It can't be created by someone that's going to come in and help you. It can't be created by someone who's financially stable. It can't be created by the people that, you know, are supposed to have your back. It has to be, the light has to be created by you. Okay? The healing comes from you. It does. By you making a decision and you making a choice that's not based on anyone else's happiness. So as he's asking for all of these different things out of you, you've given him everything. You have already given him all of you. He can't ask for more because he's already gotten all of you and all of your attention, all of your love. You don't barely get time for yourself. And like I said, it's toxic all over. So just shit can that motherfucker. Walk away from that motherfucker. Stop allowing him to take away your power. I'm a Libra, 29 years old. I want to potentially settle down. I do have a crush on my childhood friend Nick. He's a Taurus, 28. When Nick and I pass the friend zone, will he pursue me romantically? Let's see. Let me try my other deck real quick. I feel like I'm going to use this hell-related deck. Let's see. I can see you feeling some type of way about him, but I can see him. He's a non-committal individual. I think you've been knowing this kind of like in the back, in your chest or in your heart. I think you kind of been knowing that he is as unstable as he, you know, puts out. There's a lot of like, he can't. It's almost like anytime any woman asks him to like be a certain type of way, like be more loving towards me, or be, you know, can you give me this, can you give me that, he almost like instantly shuts down and instantly abandons. Like that's what I feel. Anytime anything moves into the zone of like a label or something romantic, he always shuts down. He doesn't know how to accept it. Like, accept that someone might be feeling some type of way about him. He doesn't know how to fully register that that's like the type of relationship he wants with somebody until it's too late. Sorry, I'm like fixing this. Okay. So there's something about him not being able to take... It's not that he's not taking you seriously. It's he can't take himself seriously. So, like, when he feels some type of way and, like, starts to like somebody, he instantly withdraws. Like, instantly. He starts getting very, very, like, shaky in his communication. He starts not, like, intentionally rejecting you, but, like, he's rejecting himself almost. He's making himself, like, less available or look less available than what he actually, like, feels and is. Like, all of a sudden, he starts getting busy. All of a sudden, he starts picking up this and picking up that. He's not committed. Okay? And it's not because he's, like, fucking everyone on the block. Okay? It's not because he's out there having sex with or he wants to maintain the player ways. He is just simply mentally not there with the idea of a serious connection, serious relationship. Y'all can grow as friends, and I would maintain that type of connection with him, because as y'all grow as friends, he will grow to trust you and to confide in you and to communicate with you truthfully why he is this way. Because I don't feel like it's for me to say. I feel like it's something that is for him to say. You know what I mean? I feel like it's something he needs to speak from his own emotions, his own experience, his own, like, soul type shit to you personally. Like, as you're getting to know him, as y'all's communing, like, you maintain that friendship. Because once he's able to sit there and, like, regularly communicate with you and talk to you and maintain a friendship with you, his trust level boosts through the fucking roof. So instead of being, like, wishy-washy and in and out, don't instantly jump into the idea of romantic connection until you know him. Because he doesn't trust that. He just doesn't. He don't like that shit. He don't like when somebody tries to, like, hurry or rush him into a romantic situation. He doesn't like that. He just doesn't. It's not him. It's not who he is. He wants a best friend. Like, he wants a best friend. Someone where y'all can commune together and, you know, go on little trips and go on little journeys and talk about life. Oh, shit, that shit flew out. The devil. Okay, Capricorn. Okay, so which one of y'all has, like, strong Capricorn traits? Because I was talking about this a little bit earlier about, like, the behaviors within relationships for Caps. And what is really important is the, you know, consideration of feelings. A lot of time Capricorn will act like they don't have feelings. It's not like, okay, you're gonna act like cold. No, not like that. It's acting like everything's good, everything's great, everything's all right, when the reality is on the inside we're having all these doubts and we're stressing and we're becoming, like, manic, and it's like experiencing turbulence. Okay, like, we have all these questions. So this is why sometimes as the other party you will need to ask questions, and you might be like, well, why can't he just tell me how he feels? Vice versa. Why can't you just tell me how you feel? It's just not that easy. Sometimes we almost need permission, because with permission, that means we're not burdening anyone. Taurus is earth sign, yeah. But with permission, we're not burdening you. We're not telling you something that you don't give a fuck about. Like, you actually care. And sometimes you need to show that you care just by asking those simple, basic questions. Like, how are you feeling today? Like, how you doing today? Just that. It's nothing more, nothing less. Like, how you feeling? How you doing? And vice versa. It needs to be, like, you know, it needs to be consistent with both of y'all. Like, okay, he tells you what he's up to. It might be, like, super basic, simple, like, one sentence, whatever. And then he might be like, how you doing? You know? Show the same energy back and forth. Okay? I tell him I want him to tell me. But you have to build up the trust, Jasmine. He might not be able to tell you like that naturally right out the gate, because there's no full trust there until he really does know you. So if you can kind of compromise that side of yourself that's like, I want him to open up fully as a person to me, if you could just compromise on that one thing and just be like, okay, how you doing? Like, how are you today? It will, like I said, it will bring down those walls like a 99%. It will bring down those walls of like, he feels like he needs to protect himself, or he feels like he can't trust, or he feels like he can't put in 100% with you. It will bring down those walls like so much. And he will, by the way, he's not going to ignore the fact that you want him to say certain things. He will end up doing it by himself, but he just almost, like I said, he needs that almost permission to not be burdening to you. Okay? To not be a burden. I'm giving him his space because I feel like he got the hint. I think, Jasmine, don't give space. And I know that's like a lot, because like you sit there and it's like I'm picking up on the signals, and it feels like he's backing away, and it feels like he's becoming like a little bit more aloof, or like he's just responding very short with me. Don't take that as a turnoff. Like, don't take that as like, oh, he doesn't like me. He's getting to know you and trying to understand you, and it is scary. It is different. It is scary to some people. You didn't miss yours. It's Sunshine TV. If you leave, well, you know, you also like maybe throw me a couple bones or whatever. Like, I won't do your reading until I see that you're active in the chat. So just remind me. Sometimes that's just the way it is. But Jasmine, yeah, no, he is scared to get to know you. Right, obviously he's shy. All Capricorns are, by the way. All Capricorn affected people are incredibly shy with their emotions. They're very bold in other ways, and sometimes in social aspects, but awkward in love. So you're just gonna, there's a part to you that wants to wait for him to open up, but I'm telling you, if you wait, he never will. Just be, you are like, I don't want to be too clingy, you know, da 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 da. No, just be as you as possible. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. We can take it. Like I said, we can take it. That's that Capricorn. We can take it. I'm shy. You say you shy, but then you like, oh my God, I like him, and I'm kind of like, you know, back and forth with it. I'm trying to get to know him, and I'm asking him how he is. Just be that way. Of course, Peyton. I'm glad it's been helpful for y'all. I know, Jasmine, but don't be. I get scared to message him now. Just like I said, how's your day going? Like, what's going on with you? Like, obviously, you know, be patient. Be patient, because y'all two different people with two different paces. Be patient. You know, you kind already to him, Jasmine. You very kind. And it's not like he's going to ignore that fact. Like I said, he's not going to ignore what you're already kind of giving him. He likes that what you're giving him. Otherwise, he wouldn't respond at all, babe. Otherwise, he would have ghosted your ass fast as fuck. You would have seen that nigga. That nigga was sped by you. He likes it. He's having fun. He's enjoying it. He's not going to say that right out in the open, but he will learn to say that through consistent communication. So as you show you're consistent, he's going to show he's consistent. So until you say, like, you ask me, I think that is he right for you? And the only way to know that is by getting to know him as a person. Just communicate with him whenever you feel called to do so. Don't put any crazy expectations on him right away. Vice versa, he shouldn't be putting any crazy expectations on you other than y'all getting to know each other as a friend. All right, Malibu. Thank you for showing up, girl. Thank you for showing up. It's tricky too because he lives on the same block across the street. Okay, so y'all feeling each other and y'all see each other. He might reach out, you might reach out, but don't wait if you feel called to it. Don't do that. Girl, don't chase him. That's what I tell myself too. I ghosted him. No, Mary, this is another situation. This is not like a chase. This is very new interest. It's a friendship. Like, don't like I said, don't put any crazy ass label like, oh my God, you know, situationship, until you truly feel like there's an investment. Because if you invest too quickly or invest too fast, you're skipping over the parts that are integral. Y'all need to know each other before going in. Y'all need to be closer to each other before going in. You know, if you go in with the mentality or the idea that it's going to become something more, then you're going to put expectations on a person who might not even want that same thing. But he sees you, Jasmine, very clearly. He sees you. Like I said, he likes you. Otherwise, he would not be responding to you the way he's responding to you. So just put that into clutch. If you looking for like, oh, well, I want him to tell me that he likes me or he fancies me, the fact that he's putting in the work to even communicate back to you whatsoever, because people that are earth signs, y'all all know, we will do the most to avoid a motherfucker we don't like. We will do the most to tolerate, but also never ever respond or talk to a person. We will do the most to be ignorant if we don't like somebody. If he is consistently keeping up with communication with you at all, like he like I said, he's responding to your questions and he's kind of like talking to you and asking you certain things and like shyly like trying to reach out to you, and y'all going on walks together, y'all, you know, sitting out and talking, like I said, that's perfect. Keep it at that pace. No rushing. Keep it there. Keep it at that pace. That's nice. That is where you want it to be right now, Jasmine. It's gonna feel so good, like being able to like actually scope out the scene before rolling in the sheets. He has a lot of like Gemini traits, honestly, and I think you do too. So y'all are both like, you guys both value social interaction before anything, and like intelligence before anything. Honestly, Capricorn and Gemini do have that in common, but I would say Capricorn is a little bit more physical. That's the reason why I want to know what's up with him, is because he started inviting my brother to hang out with us. Okay. So maybe it's just like a thing of like, he wants to see who you really are and doesn't want there to be any type of like muddling of that. You know, so maybe as a means of like to make things more comfortable for you too, to just be like, hey, like someone you're familiar with, let's put them along and see what goes on, see what happens. Yeah, I can understand that, Jasmine. I can understand that. I could understand that like maybe it's a thing of like, he doesn't necessarily know what the communication level should be or will be with you, so he kind of puts in something like a familiar piece for both of you in order for it to be like, okay, you know, y'all can talk back and forth and all that. But like I said, I think he's just trying to understand you and get to know you, and that he doesn't want to move fast. And that by like inviting somebody who's familiar for the both of you and who has like kind of a comfort level and knows the both of you, is kind of just a means to an end. It's just to be there to witness like what happens. Bear witness. Like, is this person being real with me or not? Like, what's going on? And I don't think he's like necessarily fully shy either. I do just feel like he's in a place right now where it's very scary for him, the prospect of a relationship. So if he feels someone eyeing him down, he might feel like, oh man, like I feel it. Oh, she looking at me. Ooh, why is she looking at me? Shyness that way. Keep it friendly. See where things go. The friendship is the most important part. Knowing someone before you go in, the most important part. And then you could decide on whether you really, really like them. Like emotionally. You might like the way he is on surface level, but let's see where he is deeper. Okay? Well, Sunshine, you here? I don't know if he will let me, and that's totally up to him, right? It's all about the patience and the willingness to understand, right? So as y'all communicate with each other, you have to kind of ask yourself, like, is he giving me surface level information, or is this really important to him? And you can tell it's important to him because he'll be repetitive about it. He'll be adamant. He'll be adamant about it. You have to be willing to wait. And I know that sucks, and you're like, oh, fuck, like, this tarot reader can't even tell me what's going on with him. No, it's not even about that. Most definitely, it is about being able to enjoy a relationship. That is the most important part. You have to feel it out. You cannot rush things. So even if I was to tell you certain information about him, it wouldn't have any meaning unless it was, like you said, coming from his own mouth. Right? You can't spiral into the idea that things are gonna instantly right out the gate become passionate and raw, and some people are just a little bit harder to get to know. He did call me bro, but that's normal. When you get to know, especially if y'all young, Jasmine, bro, normal. Get to know him as a friend. And he mentioned okay, so he's mentioning that he's available. There is a bee in here. Hey, you're far away from me. Get out, back out the window. These motherfuckers just keep getting in. It's so annoying. There must be a nest nearby. Get away from me. Told him to be himself. No, I don't think he was asking for a reaction out of you, Jasmine. I just think, like I said, he's giving you information about himself because I do feel like that's important. I think it's important to know where somebody's at, and if he's like open to the idea of talking to people and like, you know, communing in that way, I think it's super important. Then you giving him the right way. He genuinely just wants to know who you are too and how you will react. Okay, Sunshine. Sunshine. Let's see, what did you get? I think you got a carpool, right? Yeah. All right, Sunshine. So if you're being interested in him because I just lost my mom this February, you don't have to feel guilty. I mean, I know you do, but here's the thing: like, if you're wanting love and a connection, that, you know, having someone pass away and to feel that, like, what is it? Mourning, right? To mourn. Mourning is different for everybody. And like to really, really want a connection that's romantic and loving and raw. Like it's something that you've wanted before this, Jasmine. It's something that you've wanted before the hurt in the morning and all that shit. It's definitely something that you've been wanting. Okay? It's something you've been wanting. So don't ignore that and lose all hope in that. And also keep your options open too. Just because you like one individual, it doesn't mean you have to like submit to that one individual. Keep Keep your options open to being friends with or getting to know others, because it's only going to push you further ahead to where you want to be and who you want to be with. And naturally, it'll be an attraction. You know, when you don't want a relationship, sometimes that's the most traumatizing thing, is when you're saying, I don't want a relationship, or I don't want anyone in my life, but then you go out into the dating scene anyways, and then you find somebody that you fall in love with who also didn't want a relationship. That's a fucking problem. Because you all both didn't want something and y'all ended up in it. And how the fuck did you end up in it when you're supposed to be fully in control of your experience? You're supposed to want these things and stand on what you want and what you believe in. Not deny yourself the right to have a love life. Deny yourself the right to be with anybody. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You just can't have double standard like that, where it's like, oh yeah, I don't want a relationship. I hate relationships, but you dating somebody and then y'all together. That's not how things work. Okay. Y'all have to mutually want the same thing. You attract what you put out. So if you putting out the energy where you're like, I don't really want someone right now, I'm not ready, you're gonna find someone who's in the exact same place. And I mean the same place. It's gonna be the same place emotionally, but they might have different reason, right, on why they might not want. It's gonna feel the same emotionally too, though. You want to make sure you're keeping yourself open and honest. Sunshine TV, carpool. Okay, so you already left a situation. I see you standing on business. You already left a situation where you felt called to, you know, be the one to, like, almost like not end things, but like to begin things for yourself. So you already been in a situation where you felt like lackluster, or like you weren't getting all that you deserve and all that you've been wanting. You weren't able to fix the situation like you had initially wanted. I think that's also a part of you that you need to push past the fixing part. Because the fixing part, you know, you've really wanted things to work out and to grow in your direction. You've really wanted things to become like real for you. Like, that's what you've been seeking, is realness, reality. Like somebody to ground you, someone to be, you know, open and honest with you. And that's hard work, right? It's hard to be open and honest when every motherfucker out here, especially where you're working and where you're living at, seems fake. It doesn't seem real with you. It doesn't resonate with you. Doesn't communicate with you in the way that you're wanting them to communicate. It's very difficult to find somebody who's real like that. But you're also not going to sit around and wait for that to come out of someone's mouth. You're not going to wait for the right treatment. It just is what it is. Either you are that or you're not that. And, you know, I don't think you're going to sit there and dwell and deal with it. Though there is, like I said, I see a whole entire group of people maybe resonating like that for you. It might be like a group of friends. If not friends, then it is like different partnerships that you've had that are just like that. They can never ever treat you in like the basic and simple terms, like classic terms. That's what I'm picking up on, classic, because they get easily intimidated by who you are as a person outside of that. Queen of Hellfire. They get intimidated by this version of you that acts tough and is tough and has that gangster mentality. They get scared of that. But truth be told, like, though you gangster, you want the soft life too. You want to be treated softly as well. You don't want to keep dealing with the same, you know, bullshit over and over again, where like somebody is treating you like you're a fucking gorilla or silverback. It's like, bitch, I'm hard, right? But I'm not hard to love. You know, once I love you, you know, and you show me that same shit in return, I soften up. But you have to get to know me first. You know, you have to try. You have to actually try. I don't want to be the one pushing this shit constantly forwards. It's like all on my back. Why should that have to be me? And it shouldn't be you. That's the thing. It should not be just you. Like, somebody shouldn't have to apologize for not being enough. It's like either they're enough for you or they're not enough for you. And I want to make that clear in Sunshine TV. Either the person from the beginning you know, is giving you the exact type of energy that you've been wanting, and then they continue to work on themselves through the relationship when you ask them to do certain things for you, when you ask them to maybe not use certain language or to be a little bit more available for you. They should be willing to compromise their time enough to do that and want to do that for you if they love you, especially since you do that, especially since you're willing to do the same thing. If the energy is matched, you're willing to do the same thing. You just are. You're willing to do it. You're willing to. But if somebody is not going to treat you right, you are not going to sit there for that. You are not going to sit there like everything is good and everything's great, because it's not. And you know that. It's not great. It's not great. It feels like you lying to yourself a lot of the time when you're around these people. And I feel like you feel a lot of people around you are disingenuous. You feel your family is disingenuous. You feel your friends are disingenuous. You feel your partnerships have been disingenuous. All across the globe, all across the board, it's just been like that for you. That's your experience. It's like keeping it tough and keeping it rough because you haven't been able to allow anyone to get close enough because of their own actions, because of how they've treated you. Like the high priestess, they're jealous of this version of you that is like enlightened, or you know how you feel. Excuse me. You know how you feel, and what you talk about, that was disrespectful. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. You know how you feel. You know who you are. You know what you're worth. You know what your problems are. You know what you need to work on. And there's some things that you need to work on when you're actually in the relationship, like when you're actually with the person that you want to be with. But don't worry. The person that you're going to really be with, like for the rest of your life type shit, is going to make sure you know that. I feel like it's going to be a fire sign. I just feel that. Might be even the same sign that you are. It might be someone who's like very highly outspoken. So like they do speaking of sorts. I would say like maybe not like your average speaker, like somebody who does like preaching or some bullshit like that. Maybe not like that type. Might be someone who talks a lot about their life on social media. Maybe like survivor of sorts, like somebody who maybe like survived a certain lifestyle. Somebody who speaks about like valuing partners or valuing their women, like that sort of thing. Like somebody who definitely speaks like the truth and reality. I feel like you might even deal with like a reporter, or like somebody who reports on like fucked up situations. Like I pick up on like a YouTube channel. Even it might be a YouTuber. It could be like somebody who just, like I said, what they put out online, like content wise, and what they do content wise, is just right up your alley. I don't know if you're like doing the same thing where maybe you like talk about like murders and like stuff in a certain community of people and that sort of thing, but I feel like they're gonna have a very similar way of dealing and looking. Might be a Taurus, so Taurus with like Leo trait, so Taurus with like Leo moon, or Taurus with Capricorn moon and Leo ascendant, like that sort. So we're picking up on a specific individual that you're gonna be with. You have, but like I wouldn't keep everything closed down shop wise, sunshine, because you just are an open individual. You're open to experiences, and I think you need to continue to be open to experiences. Even though you've had all of these like kind of shit tossed relationships, you've never given up on the idea of love, and that shows through your actions and through who you are. Okay, that definitely shows that like people know that about you, and that's exactly why they continue to come back and continue to try to rehash or call you and get blocked and shit like that. That's why they continue to try to rehash with you. It's because they know that you know your worth, and they want you to second guess yourself. They want you to misstep. They want you to misstep. They do. They're jealous of the fact that you haven't misstepped. They're jealous of the fact that you're able to move on. They're jealous of you. That's just the truth. You know, you can't change something that's the truth. They're jealous of you. They're envious of you. And I'm gonna give you like a little bit of advice on how to find like a partner that isn't envious or jealous of you. Find someone who also is excited and ambitious about what they do. They don't rub it in your face. They don't sit there and be like, you know, oh yeah, well look at all I have. No, they're excited. Like they're a nerd. I feel like you're looking for a nerd. Like right up your wheelhouse type nerd. Where it's like they interested in something that you're very interested in as well. And y'all are very passionate. Even if it's not something that's like exactly the same. It's the same drive that y'all share. Like you guys are incredibly ambitious together. And y'all could build together on that shit. Y'all can become the power couple type situation. And that's what you're looking for. It's a power couple. Alright? That's what's up. So look for someone who's not passionless. Not just sitting there and trying to have a sexual conversation with you. They're passionate. Meaning they never fucking shut up about what they want to do with themselves. They never shut the fuck up about, you know, their plans for not just work, but for life. Like, I want this many kids. I want this situation. I want that situation. Like, they are just like you in their drive. In their drive. Okay? That they're so willing to, you know, communicate about it and talk about what they want, that they don't hold nothing back. So even if they're like someone who says like, you know, I've met a lot of people in my life and I don't know if you're the right one, but I'm willing to try to like find out if you are the right one. Even if they kind of like second guess you for a minute, like, you know, I see you bad and I see you got what's going on, but like, do you really have that passion, have that drive? I've heard women say that to me before. I've heard people say that to me before, where like, you know, they said they have a drive and then they get jealous, so they end up using me. So what is it? Do you have the drive? Do you have the passion? Are you willing to build a life, or are you lying? You faking and you're trying to build off someone else's success. You know what I mean, sunshine? That's what you should be looking for. Someone who's even willing to question you and not just be like, damn girl, you so sexy, you so fun. Like, damn girl, I want a little piece of that ass. Like, not just that. Not just that. You know what I mean. Sunshine. You know what I mean. Hey, Mango. Mango Tarot. Mango, how are you doing? You haven't been in a minute. Mary, I'm not ignoring you. It's just when I read, right? I don't necessarily pay attention to what other people are saying, because I feel like in my experience as a reader, people come to me because they want to be heard and not for me to pay attention to like other commentary. So I just keep it real with the person that I'm responding to. And if you resonate with the person that I'm responding to, then take that as well. But I don't always necessarily also respond to everyone, because there's a limited amount of energy. And sometimes when people like pin that on me and they're like, please read for me, please read for me, please read for me, I don't like that. I don't like the needy shit. I don't like the needy shit. I don't fuck with that. For me, I want to read naturally. If I feel connected to somebody, I will read for them. If I feel like that connection, like they're coming in with a realness and rawness, and I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying I don't do like the back-to-back asking me for shit while I'm in the midst of a reading. I feel like it's at some points it's disrespectful. Because even though we on a live stream and a live chat, it's like when you hear me speaking out to somebody, if you would take like just a millisecond to just listen to what I'm saying, you could hear something that's most definitely for you. And identify the issue and the problem that you're having and dealing with. Hey. You said, honestly, I haven't caught you live. I've been busy with keeping up with your posts. You're very appreciated. Thank you. New job and moved. Inhaling. Yes. It's great to see you live. It's great to see you too, Mango. It's been a minute. I'm glad you finally you getting your shit up. You finally moved. I almost feel like, you know, your situation right now is as solid as they come. You did this for you. You did this for you. It's all about you now. And you gonna do whatever you want now to preserve it, Mango. You literally could do whatever you want now. Yeah, I mean, your freedom is literally like that blissful, where you could literally do whatever you want. Meaning you can move wherever and sit wherever and have whatever job that you want. You say you're an angel. You already knew that. Oh, yes, it was for me. I'm all ears, handsome soul. Yeah, you got it. And thank you. You say, I know you're not ignoring. I hope I don't get misinterpreted. I do hope my messages get read. That's why I send them ahead. Yeah, like I said, I'm not always fully like paying attention necessarily. Mind you, just because I am responding to people that, like I said, I feel needed. And so if someone comes in and is like, yeah, I identify with that. Oh my God, that's me. Like, oh girl, we got you. We got you. Like, that's somebody who's getting information already from like the type of reasons I'm doing. So I might not prioritize that over someone who's maybe kept quiet on their situation and been like kind of just sitting there and waiting for me to respond to them patiently without saying nothing. You know, just kind of be like, hey, you know, I'm open to you reading me, or I'm open to the energy, but I don't know where I'm going right now type shit. Like, sometimes there's just priority. So I try to keep that. I try to keep it real for the people I feel are having the hardest time. I'm not saying you're not having a hard time. You might be having a very difficult time, but like I said, some people aren't built for difficult times. They don't know how to manage, and they need help to manage. No, I don't think I'm misinterpreting necessarily. Like I said, if someone comes with me with the energy and I feel like it matches the vibe, I'm going to pick on that energy. And then other people are left for another day or another situation. So keep showing up. Like I said, keep showing up. You know, that helps me out energetically as well. Keep showing up, and I will most definitely get to you when the energy is, I'm feeling it. When I'm feeling the draw. I don't ignore people unless, like you say, you being an asshole. I'm probably gonna get off and take a shower. Let's see what we at. Oh, we got 3 hours. Probably gonna get off and take, unless anyone else had a specific question for me. You got like a specific question, anyone? And I'll do one more last one before I hop off. Got anything specific for me? You said, are you Filipino too? I am. I'm not. I'm black and white. A lot of people mistake me for Brazilian, Filipino, Asian mixes. Asian mixes are very beautiful, I will say. But I'm Italian. I'm a Sicilian and black. Verniata, is that how you say your name? Verniata? Verniata. Is that, am I saying that correctly? Okay, I'll do you 3 ladies. Like I said, Mary, Patience, and Mango, I know you already got it. I know you already got it. But Verniata, Vernita. Okay. Vernita. I think I'm saying it correctly. I'm trying my best, okay? I'm not the best with names, but I try to sound it out. Vernita. Okay, let's see. Vernita, carpool, Nine of Hellfires, Wheel of Fortune. You're open to a lot of spiritual experiences. There's not a lot of times where I feel like you've had a full-on belief in something, but I feel like right now your belief in something is stronger than ever. I feel like that's accumulated through a lot of your manifestations. You've manifested a very solid life for yourself, a very stable life for yourself, and you've helped others, but I don't think you've ever been able to help yourself fully as much as you are right now. Okay, so as you kind of been in this like you've been serving other people, like I said, not serving yourself. As you kind of been in that mode, you kind of realize that the experience of giving to others was bringing you so much ruin in your life and so much trouble in your life that you wasn't even able to like live a full life or feel like you're alive. Like you just weren't able to feel like you was actually alive and breathing, and like you just weren't able to feel that. You just weren't. You just gave so much to others. Like you sacrificed so much for other people. Now that you're kind of coming in close, I do also feel like there's some people in your life that are kind of angry with you for that. For like they're angry for your lack of humanity or lack of like life, like showing life. It's like, why don't you fight for yourself, or why don't you stand up for yourself, or why don't you do? There's someone who's very mad at you for that. Someone who really, really took that to heart when you didn't stand up. And it's like, it might have even been in a petty way, like they were saying it in a way like, oh, well, you know, you just a stupid bitch who won't do this shit anyways, you know, so it is what it is. Like they might have just been trying to be very petty with you, trying to inflame you or to make you react, and you never did that in the way that they wanted you to. And a part of you, or a part of that, was you not only like rejecting your humanity, but also rejecting the fact that you had like human emotions. Like I say, you needed time to recollect yourself and recuperate, and you just never gave yourself that. You just couldn't. It terrifies you. Like, it just terrifies you. The idea of like becoming self-serving and being like any of the people that you was raised around, or you know, you have been around, you just didn't want to. You just couldn't. You didn't want to believe that your situation was mimicked, like that you were mimicking the same situation that you grew up in. You didn't want to believe that. You really didn't want to embrace that fact, but you had to. And then that's exactly why you got to the point of walking away, which is something that no one in your life has ever done before. You were able to walk away. Let's see, they say it's advice for you. Advice for Netter. Four of Skulls, then of Bibles. You still have like a couple of different things to learn about, like giving your energy away and building boundaries, and like being capable of like self-value, like valuing yourself. You've definitely, like, as you're kind of coming into this, you have like the right mindset of, I'm willing to do anything and everything to heal. I just don't think you know exactly what you need to be focusing on right now. And so as you're feeling this out, and you're like trying to know what you're where you need to be more vulnerable and where you need to like keep yourself protected, I want you to kind of ask yourself, am I being heard? Am I being seen? Am I being felt out by this individual? Are they truly caring and looking and hearing and seeing me? Or are they sitting here and tearing through my boundaries, and like, are they not really paying attention to what I'm saying, and they're just agreeing to everything that I say? Are they disrespecting me? Are they sitting there and saying my feelings aren't real? Are they invalidating you? Okay. And if they are invalidating you, you need to correct them. You need to be able to correct them. Say, no, my feelings are real. You can't debate or dispute my feelings. These are my feelings. They are real. So as much as you like to believe that whatever you believe about me, my feelings are real. Then they're raw. And there's nothing you can do to change them. They are my feelings. That's a fact. They are literal fact. Like, they're factual. You can't argue someone's feelings if they feel that way. You just can't. Like, no, you don't feel that way. Like, you know, you selfish. You this way. You that. No. The way you feel is the way you feel. You can't argue that fact. So if they still continue to sit there and try to debate you over it, and abuse you over it, and neglect you over that shit, it is best you walk away. It is best that you don't feed into that type of behavior again. Because, like I said, it's only ever going to repeat for you if you don't recognize it right away. When someone starts over talking you, when someone starts talking about themselves, they start getting wrapped up in their own talking about their own trauma. They start dragging shit out. If you don't call that shit out right out the gate, then you're going to keep making the same mistake. Okay? So the first thing that you can now do when you're coming into communication with new people, or even old, is this person receiving me? Are they hearing me? Are they feeling me? Are they invalidating me? And if they are sitting there and invalidating you, stand up and say something. You're invalidating my feelings. My feelings are real. So by you saying this and pointing fingers in my face and putting blame on me, you're invalidating my feelings. By you sitting here and blaming everything on me and trashing shit in my face, you are not feeling me. You're not hearing me. And I don't see that you've ever really had a bad bone in your body where you've purposefully tried to hurt people, but they've purposefully tried to hurt you. So you need to stop them from hurting you. You know what I mean? Stop them from hurting you. Don't allow them to talk and talk and talk and talk. It's your turn to cut them off. Okay? It's your turn now. You know that. I believe it. I know you're an empath and you always try to heal and help and fix people, but you need to now heal and help and fix yourself. And that means that if you don't feel like the relationship is equal and you don't feel like someone is hearing you or receiving you or giving you the same amount of looking, listening, and feeling and being real with you, then you need to walk a step away from them, because they are invalidating your experience and you don't need any more of that in your life. It's only ever going to turn back into that same cycle of people using you for your emotional and empathetic qualities, and constantly pinning blame on you, or making you the responsible one or the bad guy in the relationship because they can't ask you how you're feeling. They can't communicate with you properly. They're always going to put the blame back on you, always spin it in some type of way. Because there's no, like I said, there's nothing that you can do for him or for her or for anyone to be like the right person for them. There's nothing you can do. They will continue to try to force you to change and make you into basically like a fucking transformer, like a fucking, like I said, they will turn you into a completely different person. But it will never be right for them. They will tell you exactly what they want, exactly what they're hoping for out of you, and then change up what they're asking for. And they will make it impossible for you. to be the person for them, or to be a friend to them, or to be a family member to them. They will literally put you on an impossible task, on purpose to try and hurt you. Because they're jealous and they're cruel. Mary said, how will Calvin and I benefit from each other if I contact him? If we don't, I'll move on. Mary, I'll just see first if you're going to come back in contact with him, what would even happen in the first place. Lost 2 friends over invalidation, let him go. Yeah, I agree with you. If you communicate again, 8 of them. Though I do feel like, Mary, the person that you're dealing with is a good person in general. I do feel like he is. I don't feel like he is a bad person. There's a lot of different things that I feel like he sidesteps about your feelings and your emotions. Pickles and gushers. I can't what you say. I think that you naturally are looking for something out of him that he never will be. Mary, I think you're looking for somebody to be empathetic towards you and to take care of you in a way that he can't provide. He's not a bad guy. Like I say, he's not a bad person. It's just he's never going to be able to take care of you in the way that you're wanting to be taken care of. So you're constantly going to be questioning yourself on whether he's right for you, not because he's a bad person, but because he never pulls through in the things that you want him to pull through on. It doesn't mean that, oh yeah, you know, he's a shitty guy and he doesn't care for you, doesn't love you. It's just he's not for you. He's for someone else who is going to cherish and love his characteristics. And you are for someone else who's going to cherish you and love your characteristics and magnify that. You know what I mean? Like, y'all don't work together like oil and water, not because he doesn't have feelings for you, not because he isn't a kind person. It's because he has a different idea of what love should look like. And so do you. Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, and the Upright. 2 of Viking horns. Y'all cross paths for a reason now. You cross paths because I think it's to learn what you did not want. It's to learn, you know, that there is a such thing as a healthy relationship without it being like always filled with that like sexual experience. Always filled with that like gripe of like being able to see that you could make a friendship or build a relationship with somebody and not have it all be sex, or always having a strong expectation for the other person. But once your expectations, Mary, did click in, it was like you were all a different person to him. You're like, okay, whoa, who is this version of Mary that I am just figuring out? Whoa. And it, like I said, it's not that you're a bad person either. It's that your expectations are not something that he can keep up on. He just can't. And it's not that you need to change your expectations. It's just that he is not in that space or in that place to be that person for you. And even if you reached out again and you communicated again, he still would not be in that place or in that space. He just wouldn't be. He just wouldn't be. You can't force, a snail to become a slug. Even if you rip off that motherfucking shell. Like, you killed the motherfucker. You killed the motherfucker. Hopefully you understood that comparison. It's like a snail and a fucking slug. A slug, it's a slug. It doesn't have a shell on it. It kind of looks like a snail. But it's not a snail. It's a slug. It literally does not have a shell. It's not the same. It's not the same. It looks similar, but it's not the same. We have different worlds, I understand. Yeah, it's just not the same. The type of love and the type of acceptance and the type of comfort you're looking for, he can't bring to you. His experience is not the same. His experience, though similar, he understands it in a completely different way. He has something that you don't, and you have something that he doesn't. You know what I mean? And y'all need to understand that separately. It's not worth putting yourself through the pain of a person where you just don't feel like y'all match. Like you don't feel like he matches your energy level. You don't feel like he loves you in the same way you love him. You don't deserve that. You deserve to find, and he feels the same. You both deserve to find people who are healthy and want to embrace you in the way that you want to be embraced. You might reject him in a sexual way while he rejects you in an emotional way. You want an emotional lover, so you find someone who's capable of emotionally loving you. He wants a sexual or a physical lover where he can, have sex with them and have that type of connection with them. It's two separate things. They could come together if the person was open, but you're both not open to debating that. And that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with either of you. There's nothing wrong with you. There just isn't. There's nothing wrong with you. And you asked that earlier, I think. But there's nothing wrong with you. The type of love that you're looking for is not so rare that you wouldn't ever be able to find it. It's just a love that takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of understanding and a lot of communication. And if a person isn't able or isn't willing to communicate with you in that way, then you need to move on. You need to move on. You can't keep that up. You can't be the one holding the relationship up. Just like he can't be the one trying to hold up to your expectations. And constantly having to change himself to be with you. Because he might be attracted to you in a different way than you're attracted to yourself even. There is so much waiting that would have to happen between y'all that instead of waiting, you could find someone who works at your same pace. Someone who works at your same pace and space. Okay? You can find it. And it does exist. There's nothing wrong with you, like I said. You just need to take the time. I think taking the time to heal this physical side of you too. There's a lot more that you could be doing in a sexual way for yourself. And I'm not trying to bring it up to embarrass you or anything like that. But there's a lot more that you could be bringing to yourself sexually and like managing as far as like control of your, trauma. There's a lot more that you could be doing just for you. Okay? And that means like making yourself feel and look good. You know what I mean? Like when you look in the mirror, you looking at yourself wholly and totally butt ass naked. Or you get yourself a little lingerie number and you're looking at yourself, you're like, oh my God, I've never seen myself in this way. Or maybe you doing something different with yourself. Like something you've never done. Maybe not wearing makeup or like whatever it is. There's something with you about the disconnect with the physical that should be healed. And of course you need to be with somebody that's willing to take the time on understanding that side to you, but you also need to be open to the idea that somebody will love you for not only your personality and who you are and how loving and thoughtful you are, but they'll also love you for your physical as well. Right? So there's a lot more that you need to do to accept who you are physically. And you need to be able to demand that sort of respect out of the men that you're with. And if they aren't willing to, compromise that side of themselves and they're just going to go out and do them, let them go out and do them and you go out and do you. Because like I said, there is somebody out there for you that will respect that side to you and love that side to you. When the time comes, could we be good friends? I feel that. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel that. I just think time needs to happen now where y'all take space and y'all try to understand yourselves a little bit more, a little bit better. I think you could though, Mary. I do believe so, because he is a good guy. Like, otherwise you wouldn't have come here and been so adamant on it. He is a good person, genuinely. You just need time to figure out the feelings and the emotions behind it. And yes, work on those sexual bits. It's not about always having someone else who's attracted to your body. It's not about always engaging in sexual intercourse or sex with somebody else. Sometimes it's just about you. And if you always dealt with men who always worry about themselves in the bedroom and never you need to start worrying about yourself in the bedroom and demand that type of respect. Hey, no, I'm not going to lay there like a fucking water boy while you sit there grunting and moaning like a fucking pig. Like, no. Yeah, that's disgusting, and you need to get the fuck away from me. I feel like you like that anyway. And when those experiences kind of happen, or when you're like out of a relationship, you know what I mean? There's a lot more for you that you could be doing, like looking sexy to yourself, taking pictures for you. Of course, the internet is kind of flopping a little bit right now, yo. I think a storm is coming. But yeah, no, the lingerie, the looking good for just you, just only you. You by yourself, by your lonesome. You don't even have to post anything online or anything like that. It's just getting used to looking at yourself and feeling connected and feeling beautiful and feeling in your body. Like, feel your body. You are in control. You have the power. I understand, Mary. I get it. It's not something that's easy, and it's something that's going to be solved overnight. Most definitely, the creeperism and like the nasty, weird, rapey vibes, like that's nothing any woman could expect to get over overnight, because it's nasty that you even have to live with that type of experience in the first place. So I'm not saying overnight, but I'm saying start to love. I'm not saying you don't love yourself and your physique, but start to look at it in a different way. Start to feel that you are in control. I am in control. That's what I want you to kind of say in yourself. When you see your body, when you see yourself in a sexy way, in a sexy manner, and you start like dressing up and doing these different things, don't put it in a position of like, oh, like I need to do this for a man to be attracted to me. Start looking at yourself and be like, damn, she fine. I am in control of my body and what I do. I am sexy as hell. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different. Ain't no man gonna try to critique or criticize or fawn over my body without my permission. Like, this is me and this is who I am. And if a man can't accept that or wants to be creepy and nasty towards me, fuck them. Like, they can get the fuck away from me. And the stalking shit and all that nasty shit. Like, yes. That's the type of shit, Mary. That is the type of shit. Stay on that. Don't think because you've had this experience that he wasn't attracted to you. Because at the end of the day, that's not what happened, Mary. You know, at the end of the day, you are a very attractive individual. That's why even though he might not have wanted the same things as you, he still kept up with that communication. He thought you were attractive in your communication style. He thought you were attractive in your body. He felt these things that are true about you. You know what I mean? He felt these things. Why is your voice so soothing? Oh, thank you. It's that New York flair. It is. It's a piece of that. I love guys who think like you, who empathize with women like me. Thank you. God bless you. Of course. Most definitely, I try every single day to understand that relationship between men and women. I come from a background where that just wasn't something I seen growing up at all. I never ever saw a healthy relationship in front of me ever. So as I'm in therapy right now, I constantly fight to understand that side of things. I always want to understand the other perspective. I know my perspective. I know how I feel. It's just the other perspective in understanding how people are, in the psychology behind it, and how I can better help and be catering to that side of a woman. Because yes, it's not my fault. I wasn't born with a fucking cooch, and I wasn't born with that mentality of like being able to fully, perfectly understand the struggles that a woman goes through, right? But at the same time, I want to, you know. So it'd be one thing if I was like sitting here and be like, "Fuck you," like get over it. A man don't love you this way and that way. I wouldn't be being truthful, you know. Because a lot of men do feel love and attraction and very strong emotions towards a woman, but don't know how to properly express that and end up sabotaging the relationship. Vice versa. Vice versa. Like sometimes there's women who fully don't understand that a man has feelings and thoughts and needs emotionally as well. And it might be very different from how a woman presents that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it might be feel cold. But like if we are able to break down and understand all these pieces and halves to a whole, we will eventually get to a stage to where we can have very healthy relationships with each other. It needs to be that both people want that. They both want to work it out. They both want to heal. They both want to grow together. And if you don't have that in a relationship, you don't have a relationship. You have a temporary fix. And that temporary shit, it does you good for a couple months and sometimes a lot, maybe 10 years, you know, sometimes 15 years. Sometimes it could put you through a whole beginning of a marriage, but around the 8-year mark of those 15 years, everything falls flat and everything falls apart. And you stay for what? Because you miss what you used to have. Because you fell in love with a person and you quickly realize that wasn't the person that you fell in love with is no longer there. That they've changed and they've grown without you, and you've changed and you've grown without them. You've grown apart. Right? I like I said, I was born into a situation where I never got that modeled for me, so I would want people to understand your side of things, Mary, and most definitely my side. Most definitely the masculine side as well. Because men and women get a real bad rap from either side. Because we keep hurting and scorning each other and fucking each other up. We just keep doing that. Back to back to back. And it don't make no fucking sense. Because it's not accentuating or like giving us anything valuable. Even if you're a narcissist, like at some extent, like you looking for praise and love and emotions, like you looking for something good. Like if your life is always terrible, always bad, and you're always inviting in the nasty fucking people, you're able to finally at some point realize that that's not what you want. And instead of staying in it and staying like, well, I'm a bad person, so I'm gonna stay stuck. Or I'm a bad motherfucker, so I'm gonna stay in these traumatizing situations. Or I love a man that's gonna traumatize me. I love a woman who's gonna fight for me. It's like, no, y'all should be not fighting, right? Or competing. You should be wanting to understand each other. You should be comforting and validating and loving. Just love. You know? That's what love is. It's not the fucking fighting. Like, y'all should not fight and compete to love each other. That shit is annoying, dude. Like, even just talking about that shit make me irked. I don't like it. Because I don't think you should have to fight for something that you've earned. But I also do believe you earn to be like heard and communicated with. So if you communicate in the wrong way and you yelling in someone's face, or you getting worked up and you're not like, you're completely talking over someone, or like there's certain, even if you're in a healthy relationship, there's certain things that we do that are unhealthy. that we don't realize are unhealthy until someone points it out, and it's like, well, you really shouldn't be talking that way, because at the end of the day you're invalidating my experience and making me feel like shit. Or you're just not, you're not understanding it fully. Like you are partially listening, but then you're also not able to understand me. You know what I mean? Because we have to. We have to, in order to heal. We can't be perfect. Oh, of course, the storm is now affecting the internet again. Sorry about that, y'all. Can I ask for cards? Who's the right one for me? What's for me doesn't need to be fought for, justified, explained, held on to. I agree with that. Fully and wholeheartedly, Mary. What is right for you, a person that is right for you, and the person that's going to love you is going to feel the same way about you as what you feel for them. They're going to feel like they can accept you in any type of light, any type of situation. And even if you are somebody who is scared of making that physical commitment to somebody and scared of love, or even like you petrify, you outright reject some forms of love, right? They should be willing to sit there and understand that. Understand why. Understand how you're feeling, you know? Like, they should want that with you. And not only that, they should also be able to compromise. And that's kind of something I've been talking about more recently on my channel, is compromise. You should never feel like you're compromising your whole entire self for a relationship, ever. In any relationship. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your friends, your your chosen family, your partner, your romantic partners, or your marriage. You never ever should feel like you're fully sacrificing your whole entire self. That is toxic. That is bound to be toxic. You should always have you on the frontal of your mind. It should always be you. And yes, if you have children, you start thinking about your kids, like you want your kids' father to be in their life, their kids' mother, whatever, blah, blah. Right. But at the end of the day, what your children will most want out of you is a healthy parentage. And if you can't be a healthy parent to your child because you're still dealing with a traumatic relationship, your child, when they grow older, they will never be able to forgive you. And I will put that 10 toes down. I will put that on God. I will put that on everyone. They will never, ever, ever be able to respect you and look at you the way you need to be respected and looked at, because you chose a traumatic relationship, dead relationship, over your own children, over your own responsibility, over your own, like, that's your spawn, baby. That shit came out your body. For men, it's like you might not have had that full body connection, but you should never ever choose a woman or to abandon a woman over your own children. Never choose that toxic relationship or fall into that toxic relationship. Always try to mend. You want your children in your life. You want that type of unconditional love, because I'm telling you, your kids will love you unconditionally. They will. Until you start doing that shit where you make your child choose. Make your child choose over a parent. They will learn by themselves. Don't shit talk your baby daddy, baby mama. They will learn by themselves what that person is like. And I tell you, it is so important. It is so important to be there. To be emotionally aware of yourself. Don't stick through those traumatic and toxic situations with the person that you're with. Don't do that. When you have a baby in the mix, don't do it. Like, every relationship has its trials and tribulations. Now, unless that person today is willing to go get therapy with you, or y'all willing to talk it out, and consistently do therapy, there ain't nothing to talk about. There ain't nothing to talk about. Like I said, kick them. Boop. Got a whole baby to worry about now. Right? Got a whole child. Or a teenager. Or a young adult child. You still gotta be there. Being a parent is a 9 to 5. They don't lie about that shit. That's why my spawn out, the world yet. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like, I could barely take care of myself like that. And y'all be out here having babies as babies. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Come on now. And then some people are like, well, we need two parents. No. A child does need a village in order to be raised. They need healthy connections and healthy relationships around in order to feel, and for order for the mother not to feel stressed and to feel like they're accepted and loved by the right people. Most definitely, it is important to have people around you love and trust, right? But it never ever has to be a man. It never has to be a romantic relationship. It never has to be that. It can be a family member. It can be a really, really loved and trusted friend. Like I said, you trust that person with your life. You know them all their life. Like I said, no one's shady. But the person that they will be most looking up to for any type of connection or relationship, they will base all of that shit off of you. So remember that shit. If you don't want your kids in a domestic violence situation or in a nasty relationship, then you got to stop dealing with that nasty ass person. Just stop it. Or abusive, verbally even, y'all. Verbally is unacceptable. Verbally abusive is unacceptable. Emotionally abusive is unacceptable. Physically abusive, unacceptable. Don't play. Mango, you said something too. I'm gonna get to Mango's reading and then I'm gonna hop off because the storm is about to hit and I feel that wind like crashing through the fucking window right now, and I don't want this to like cut when I'm on. Plus we eating about like 3 hour 30-minute mark, and I'm kind of wanting something to eat. Looking for something to eat. So Mango, you asked some. I see a monarch butterfly. It's trying to come in my window. Don't come near that candle, y'all. Don't do that. Don't traumatize me. Y'all ever seen like moths and shit fly into a candle like just to spark up and disappear? I'm like, yo, like how do y'all not crying because no matter how we try, we not for each other, but I have faith. God provides in this universe. Yeah, because there's most definitely someone out there for you on the same wavelength. There just is. We know that. As many people as there is in this world, we also know it's rare to have somebody understand you and have that. Like that's the type of humbleness we need. That's the type of humbleness we need, though. Like, we need to stay humble in that, like, not everyone out there has your best interest. Just like not everyone out there is your enemy. But there is going to be one individual, or maybe even sometimes there's multiple. I mean, a lot of times there's multiple individuals who understand you and who love you for you and look at you, you know, like you're a human being instead of looking at you like you're a means to an end. Like, I'm gonna get my nut on this person and walk away. Like, no, like not everyone feels that way. That we only know because we've seen successful relationships. It just takes so much work. And if somebody's not willing to put in for that work, or like y'all are just not it, like y'all are just not it together, y'all destructive together, you gotta choose to walk away so you can find that. You deserve that fully and entirely, and 100% you deserve it. You do. All right, Mango. As we was talking about things that you deserve, I feel like it all comes down onto you, Mango. You've deserved this. The star. You deserve it. The positivity, the confidence, the ability to, you know, feel like whole again. You deserve that. You've earned that. King of Skulls, you've earned that. You've earned that right. You just have. Okay, Mango? Everything that you have been through for the past years, even like I said, the past couple of months, you've earned it. And yes, there is stress here. I see 8 of Skulls here. Like, really, you feel almost blind a little bit. Like, you feel like you're walking in blind, and it's kind of a scary situation. But that's because it's new. It's not because you're like scared that someone's gonna hurt you. It's because it's new, and it's weird, it's strange, it's unusual, because you would have never, it's not that you would have never seen yourself. You knew you were capable, you just didn't know how capable you actually were to flip something so quickly and to like move on so quickly. You just didn't feel that, like you didn't know that about yourself. that you can make that type of harsh decision like almost on a whim. You're like, fuck it, turn that shit on, fuck it. Like I almost feel like you turn on your car one day and just threw everything in and left. That's what I feel like, on a whim. Like, just, bitch, I'm gone. Like, oh, I feel like leaving. Oh, I'm gone. That type of shit. Night of Bibles, yeah. Oh, I'm gone. Night of Bibles is like, okay, I might not know the full situation of how I'm going to get to where I need to be. You unlucky, K. Smith? Why you unlucky? Why you unlucky? But, yeah, no, like, basically, it just feels like you might not have known how you're going to get to where you needed to be, but you got there. And that's what it is. Like, that's what it is, though. That's like trusting and fully trusting and believing in yourself. That's what it is. So the fact that you did that means you have gained trust back in yourself. You have gained full trust back in. You've gained awareness back in yourself, where you don't feel like you need anyone's permission or need anyone's praise. You're just you. You're just you. But let me take this thing cool. It's real warm. Okay. But I could also see, so the dude that you was talking about, like that visited you, whatever, I'm gonna see if he's gonna show up. Because I do feel like you, like I said, you in a really good place right now, and some new love or just like new conversation and being able to like talk to somebody as real as you have been feeling. Yeah, I do feel like you are ready for that. But as far as like taking it into a romantic level or romantic step, I will hold out on it. Okay? Justice in the upright. It's not because you're not ready for it. I feel like karmically, you haven't received everything that you need to know right now. I don't know why that's a thing. Maybe there's like something you're looking for as far as like, what do they mean? What is it called? It's called, they're looking for almost closure. That's what it is. Closure. You're looking for closure. And you will find closure automatically. And I'm not saying like don't go out and date and don't go have fun and don't go do this and don't go, like, go do that. Go have fun. Please do that. Please do that. Do that for yourself. But the amount of closure that you're looking for is closure that you will only find by yourself with yourself. And that's coming this year. So it's not something you're even going to have to wait for. It's this year. All right? It's this year, Magician in the upright. Yeah, it's this year. You will be teaching yourself a different way of loving, of communicating. You will be teaching yourself a totally different way of coping, communicating, romancing, and vibing. Okay? And it's only going to come by you being for yourself and by yourself. And you're not sad at that, honestly. Forrest goes is like, I'm just bored. You're like, oh, I'm just kind of bored, you know. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, I have to wait. I have to be aware of myself. You know, I have to fully accept myself, love myself, and this and this and that. I get it. I'm just bored, and you're gonna feel bored. But I also feel like you're gonna feel like satiated. Like, the reason why you're gonna feel bored is because you're gonna feel like, why do I feel content right now? Don't try to disrupt your contentness by inviting in drama or something brand fucking new and crazy and scary to you, and by re-traumatizing yourself. Don't do that. You bored. Okay, I understand that you're bored, and I want you to go out and have fun. Like, well, I don't want to accidentally take someone too seriously. I could see that. Okay, you are in a playful mood, so go play. Go out and get yourself some juice. You know what I mean? Go out and play. Spoil yourself. Do your little bath bombs and do your self-care routine. Put on your little makeup. Do your hair up. Do all of those things. All of those self-care things that you need to do for yourself. Do them. Okay? But don't get bored being content in the position that you're in. You want the more content you are, the more you will find and attract that same type of energy that is also content with themselves by themselves. So they won't have any of that extra baggage on the side of like, oh yeah, well I got this 21 baby mamas and fucking 50 kids. Like they won't have that same shit going on. They won't have drama in their life because they cut that shit out just the same way as you doing. They won't have that shit on their back like that. You will find somebody who is just as content and available as you are. But don't get desperate for some like I said, quick time loving or some passionate, like raw passion at the beginning and fucking drops dead in the middle. No 21 baby mamas. We don't want that shit no more. We're not settling for that shit. We're not gonna accept that shit anymore. Because you already know the story behind that. And also you know the story behind the liars. The people who lie and say they don't have no kids or this and this and that. The moment you figure out that motherfuckers lying, you reel back real quick. And you're like, fuck you. You're a liar. I don't fuck with liars. I don't care if it's like I love you right now. It's like you change when you give me that information, you change my view of you. So you know what? I loved you before you just lied to me, or before you just lied to me and told me that. I loved you when you weren't a liar. And now you liar to me and I don't trust you and I don't fuck with you. Get away from me. Fuck that. Drama. 3 half fires. You have so many options, so many choices out there, and most of it has to do with your finances and your work. Don't be scared to start anything new. Don't be scared to emphasize on multiple jobs and entrepreneurship. Don't be scared to do that. Don't be scared. Just do it. Like I say, you say you're bored, then you better make yourself busy. Mango. The Hermit. Yeah, this is where they're saying you will get the full extent of your life going and feeling good. This is where it comes from. Not the romantic trauma, not the drama, not the storytelling and the back alley bullshit. It's all coming from you right the fuck now. Because you're open and willing to try anything new for yourself, for you, nobody else. No polyamorous relationship, no chopping it up with the thruples and truples and fucking quadruples. No more of that shit. No more settling. No, the lovers. Love will come to you naturally because of your contentness. I'm still trying to, I felt that. Yeah, I saw that. You will release them. It's just that's why I say you needed closure, because you do. There's a certain amount of closure that you're looking for that won't come overnight. Like I said, it's gonna come this year, but it's not coming overnight. And so you're just gonna need a little bit of time to unwind, to finish up the hardest parts of this, which is the grieving. It's the grieving. It's the grief. I'm almost out of survival mode. Yeah, you don't need to be there no more. You don't deserve to be there no more. Fighting tooth and nail for the most minimum and basic shit. You don't need that no more. So, you don't need that. No, that's not for you. You should most definitely. I know you feel sick of that shit by now, and you shouldn't feel bad for feeling sick of that shit. So you shouldn't feel bad for being that person that where you're I want that soft life. I've been talking about that more recently, because I was talking to my therapist and I was like, do you really think a soft life exists? What do you think a soft life is? Is that something different for everybody? Is that something to where someone wants a life where that it can be laid back and kind of done out for them, or do they want a life where they can equally cohabitate? And I feel like it's just person to person. It's person to person. A soft life is a healthy life. That's what they're trying to say. A healthy life. A healthy life filled with love, filled with laughter. Of course, with a little bit of tragedy. You can't go healthy without a little bit of fucked up shit, right? And healing some of that trauma and death and all of that shit, But once we hit that point to where we are content with ourselves and we don't get with people romantically that are not content with themselves, and so they try to shake us up and make us discontent with ourselves, then we good. Once we find that person who just accepts us for as we are and we accept them for as they are, and no control, that's the soft life. And even solve, you can be solved by yourself too. You don't need anyone to be there. You really don't. But that's why we got to learn by ourselves first how to live that life. Right? I'll put one more card for those of you that kind of like came through and you was wanting to read, but I'm about to hop off. I'll pull one more card and kind of talk about it a little bit for what y'all going to be dealing with within the next week. Because it is Monday, right? Let's see. Stay away from the mosquitoes. That's what I picked up on. Because like mosquito to me is like people who suck your energy dry. It's not always people who are intentionally doing that though. It's not always people who intentionally try to do that. Sometimes it's people who are unhealed, and just by them existing around you, they trigger you or they put you on like protective detective mode. Might be a friend, right? I feel like this is more or less a friend, or like this could be someone you've been protecting your whole entire life. It'd be a parental or a sibling. They've put you on like FBI, CIA fucking protective mode, where you've always had to like put them in a box and like cradle them, because they're never ever able to do things for themselves or by themselves. But what I want y'all to do is unwind. The protective mode that you feel is something that by this point, like what I feel very strongly, is unnecessary. Okay? There is people in your life who have yet to learn lessons because people like you keep protecting them. Okay? And I know that seems like, you're like, oh fuck, like I've been doing this whole shit wrong. I didn't even mean to do it. It's not something you're doing because you're not doing it with ill intent or ill intentions. It's not going to affect you in any type of way. Like you're not going to get any karma get back, or they're never going to yell at you and scream at you for protecting them. They feel, of course, loved and protected by you, but by your consistency of like trying to like hold them back or pull them back away from certain situations, these are certain situations that they have to learn for themselves. So as much advice as you want to give them, and you want to heal them, and you want to fix them, like partners, especially romantic partners, you cannot. You cannot. You either accept them as they are right now, or you don't accept them at all. And that's the same type of energy they should be giving you. You either accept them as they are right now, or you don't accept them at all. They should be feeling that same thing towards you. You cannot heal them or fix them. What they come with, you've already technically expected. You've accepted and expected. You've expected them to have a little bit of baggage. You've accepted the fact that they have baggage. You have to be able to let them feel out their situation. You can make inference, right? You can communicate with them about it. Ask them how they feel about it. Ask them how they are about it. But don't tell them how to respond. Don't direct them and tell them how to respond. Don't direct, unless it's about you two, you and this person, like y'all and how y'all communicate together to each other. Don't try to fix it. If it's about their mother or their father or someone outside, let them sort that out. That is not for you to stand in between and constantly exhaust your energy. That is not for you. It's not for you to keep standing there and trying to hash or patch something together, because you are not meant to do that. That is something that they're meant to do for themselves. That or not do it all. And I know it comes from good intent. Okay? Healing intent. Stay in your lane. I like that. Divinely paved. You're exactly right. Stay in your lane. You're helpful. You are healing. But this is for them to figure out. Okay? The sun. Okay, looks like it's gonna be good though. Like weather seems like it's gonna be a little fucky. Okay, and that's even showing it out here right now. But it seems like y'all are gonna be in a really good space though. Like that type of sleep where you're like during a thunderstorm or something like that. You know how some people sleep like really really well during a thunderstorm because it's so heavy, and like you feel really really well rested. Like I feel like that's coming. What's coming is like a really good rest, a really good sleep. What else? Yeah, really good sleep. And I feel like you're going to be hiding from people a little bit. You're going to be hiding maybe your thoughts from certain people, and maybe you're just going to be like by yourself or on your own a lot of the time. Even if you have a partner that you're very connected or attached to, there is a lot of you distancing yourself because you want to be able to process certain emotions and certain things that have been happening as of late. Or maybe there's just certain things that are going too fast in your life, like you've just gotten into a new situation, so it's all super brand new, and you're kind of you're getting overstimulated, and you just need some time to think and to process. Make sure you communicate that. If I'm talking about a partner, that wants to be close to you, or you're dealing with a situation where like there's someone who wants to communicate with you, let them know you're taking your time out. Don't not communicate that and then end up getting irritable down the road. Let them know you're taking your time. You need time. It's fresh for you. It's new for you. It's different for you. It's raw for you. You need time. Okay? Yeah, that's exactly what they say. You need to stay calm. And then by staying calm, stay away from the bullshit. Stop putting in maximum effort for people who don't put any effort in for you. And keep the mosquitoes away. Keep that off. Like they said, keep that off. Keep that off. Or that, what do they call that? The citronella candles. Maybe they're telling you to light some nice candles around the house, or do a little summer cleaning situation, or clean in preparation for summer. Or maybe you're moving, so you need to, in preparation, you need to like pack your shit up, or maybe you need to unpack before the summer ends or something like that. I don't fucking know. They just be talking about like moving shit around. Like start getting all your horses in the road type shit. Start getting ready. It's gonna be way different than what you expected. That's what I pick up on. Yeah, way different. People gonna beg you to. I pick up on people begging, like begging to be with you or begging to be along your side. And you're like, I cannot, not right now. I'm busy. You have to be willing to release me, so that I can do this. And it's like you shouldn't even have to ask for that. That's something that should be guaranteed to you. Like when you say, I need space, they should be giving you space, not pressuring you into sacrificing more of your time. They should be giving you space and giving you grace. So even if you do really want them to be by your side, by asking for space, you're not asking to break up, or you're not asking for them to like completely leave you alone and abandon you. You're just asking for some time. So maybe instead of asking for space, because that might be triggering for some people, ask for some time. Can I just have like a day to myself or 24 hours to myself to do a couple of different things? Or even make plans. If you got to make plans for yourself, by yourself, do that. In order to get away from certain people, just for some time being, to think, say that. Like, well, I got some plans. I got to go to the fucking nail factory. I got to go to wherever you got to make up of where you got to go. Because maybe you're not going there. Maybe you just like going out to have a good time. Or maybe you just going over to mama's house to lay down or something like that. Or maybe you going out for some brunch and some lunch by yourself. Like I said, by yourself. By yourself. Friends don't got to be there. No one has to be there. It's just for you. It's just you. Okay? Just you. Going out shopping, going to do this. Do whatever you want to do. Don't allow someone to control that time and space for you just because they're like, well, I need you. Or I want the fucking, I want you to lay pipe. Or, I want your coochie. Like, don't sit there and say that that's what you want when that's not what you wanted. Because the person needs to learn boundaries. And in order to teach them and set boundaries, you need to be willing to do what you need to do regardless of whether them wanting you within that moment or not. Don't get so attached where you're like, oh my God, I gotta give him what he wants and what he needs, otherwise he's gonna leave me. Don't put that type of pressure on it. No. If that is how he is, and he is that much of a piece of shit, then you shouldn't be with him in the first place. And let the player go play the field. That's what I say. Let the player go play the field. I'm writing shit down. Let the player go play the field. Okay? Let the player go play the field and get the fuck away from him. Move the fuck out and move the fuck on. Can't change that mind. Okay. Alright, y'all. I appreciate y'all for showing up. I do like the vibes and the energy. I feel like we did pretty much readings throughout this whole entire space. There was like no No pause. We just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. So those of you that are kind of showing up for the ass end of this, and not you didn't really get like a reading or anything like that, you might want to roll back a little bit, because we did talk about a lot of different things. I feel like a lot of people on my channel or that gravitate towards my energy are dealing with right now. So, you know, be open to the experience. Kind of just tap back, like go back into the video, kind of click back, you know, an hour or so ago or 30 minutes ago. Like I said, there's going to be a message for you. I know that, hands down. If you just got here, there is a message. There's so many messages laced throughout this whole entire thing. And I'm not just going to secure it down to like the person that I was reading for, because like I said, we kind of attract each other. The vibes attract each other. When there's a certain issue going on in your life and you feel like, you know, distance, or you feel like nobody understands you, a lot of time we go seeking for people who do understand. And when you feel like I'm hearing you and seeing you and listening to you genuinely, you are also going to find a lot of people up in this bitch that are my regulars, that regular show up to the channel, who are in the similar position. So I'm going to talk about a lot, because we all on that healing journey together. I love that my fucking camera is tilted up. Got my little perfectionist shit going. I'm like, motherfucker. Maybe want to like tap that shit off. I can't with that camera, man. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mango. Thank you, Sin. Thank you, Wyaria? Why? Is that how you say that? Why? I think so. Yeah, Wyaria. Thank you, Divinely Paved. Thank you, Arushi. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody. Kira. Everybody. Thanks for showing up. We are a unit. Most definitely, we are a unit. And it will continue to grow. So make room, y'all. You know, you're going to have a big, giant, I won't say go as far as to say it's a family, but most definitely you will have a community and a structure. Mayori. Okay. I like the name Mayori. It's pretty. All right, y'all. See ya. Love y'all. See ya.